firm that shares your values. Those values, including faith, honesty, hard work, love of country, have been the foundation of our firm's long history of outstanding results. We take righteous cases on a percentage fee basis. If you need our help, please give me a call at 303-770-5551 or hit dancaplisslaw.com.
For over 150 years, CIBC has helped people go from where they are to where they want to be. From leading a few employees to managing an entire workforce. From starting local to going national. From generating wealth to generations of wealth. At CIBC, we believe a bank should take you from where you are to wherever you want to be. CIBC, ambitions made real. CIBC Bank USA, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
When it comes to kitchen countertops and cabinets, you're flooded with choices. But my recommendation is but one choice, Art of Granite, luxury with value. Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Wholesale prices on all stone and surfaces, including quartz. Pay only for fabrication and installation. And when the kitchen is done, the bathroom is free. All tear out and haul away is also free. Call now for your selection of quartz. All the latest colors. 303-386-5919. TheArtOfGranite.com.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The NFL action is in full swing at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. We're talking touchdowns, big plays, and even bigger wins. New customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. If that's not enough, everyone can boost their winnings with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. Right now, for every leg you add, you can boost your winnings up to 100%. With payouts bigger than ever, why bet on football?
For primarily large joint extremities, so knees and shoulders to start. Yeah, definitely. Yes.
I have successfully cancelled this plan, and there won't be any charges further. And I have also sent you the email which states the cancellation confirmed, so that you can show it to your bank, and your bank will help you in refunding all these charges.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're most welcome, sir. And I really apologize. This was another price charge, but we just assured I have cancelled it, and there won't be any charges.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I appreciate this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. So they really appreciate your feedback.
I will do it. Thank you. All right.
You have a great day.
You too. Bye. You know, Adobe is the worst. When you sign up for them, they give you all kinds of extra shit you never asked for. I swear to God, it's like.
And then you can't get rid of it, right?
It's pathological. I mean, we were just doing on this one business I have. We were simply doing Acrobat, and they have me down for cloud storage for $57 a month. I never agreed to ever.
ABC News, I'm Jim Ryan. Two people who want to remain anonymous have claimed a $1.3 billion Mega Millions jackpot. A single ticket sold in suburban Chicago in late July won that top prize. Russian President Vladimir Putin is signaling a major escalation in the war in Ukraine.
He's going to do a major. Why doesn't he just get it up? Anyway, I have one quick update on that dentist who changed insurance companies.
Yeah, what did they say about that?
They refunded all his money.
Oh, good.
So
I mean, why would they even? Didn't they agree that they should have told him or not?
Well, he said that they must have heard us on the radio.
Can we get the guy on? Can we get him on about it? I mean, that would be nice if we could have somebody on.
Reporters say it would clear up gray areas around the count of electoral college votes, and the Republicans say part are unconstitutional. 25 years after
Eli, you are a PhD physical therapist.
Yeah, DPT.
Is that a doctorate? That's
Doctorate is in there.
Yeah.
Hearing, Neil admitted that he still hears voices.
So do you run the department?
Yes.
I think I can do a lot of good out there.
Now, were you there while Devin was there?
No. So we overlapped, where we were a month gap between the two. I've been with, I did a year with Vivid in between post-acute, so like short-term rehab between hospital and home. But that was more so like I finished up PT school. It was with Devin for 5 years.
That's right, yeah.
And then I went back to get my MBA for healthcare administration. So then I started running a rehab department with post-acute for a year, and then transitioned to taking over the department with CPC. That was kind of the trajectory.
Do you like working with patients?
Yeah, I think there's a balance between good leadership, having boots on the ground, and so running a department, but also having the patient care aspect of my job to continue to have that.
These symptoms were studied in combination.
Have that contribution to
children less than 2 years old.
What I'm seeing and the decisions that I'm making to the department and whatnot. It always helps if I'm knowing what's going on day to day. So I think the patient care aspect of it keeps you engaged for sure. It's rewarding. So definitely something I want to continue to do, even as the administrative side of things always starts to take over more and more.
Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to LinZest. Learn more at linzest.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
How many physical therapists do you have with all locations?
2 physical therapists, 2 physical therapist assistants, so 4 therapists total.
Some people call it for stiffer penalties for swatting. That's making a fake call.
I can hear. Talk to me. Talk to me. Can you talk to me?
And it is, if
Oh.
someone's hurt,
All right, I'm here.
Process, then that increases to a felony. If someone's killed, it increases.
Should I turn my mic on?
Third degree.
Yeah, but I don't hear him. Is he up?
So the 60s. And I'm ready for fall.
Mark, I'm here.
Technically.
I hear him a little when you have your button.
Rockies lost to the Giants 6-3 last night. That's the latest. I'm Pat Wood.
Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by the Mark Moss Show podcast.
Several slow spots throughout the Denver metro as we hit those late morning hours up on the north end of town. 25 southbound at 84th. A recent accident has been cleared out, but we're still seeing slow traffic back from 120th and about 3 minutes of delays for drivers. Heading all the way to the south end of town near Centennial, I-25 southbound again at County Line Road. We've got a stall in the left lane, also with minimal delays. Otherwise, a pretty smooth drive throughout the Denver metro. I-70 east and westbound, 12-3 into and out of the airport. Fox 31 pinpoint weather showers today with a high of 65 degrees this afternoon. Overnight low of 52. The current temperature in Denver is 62 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
The European Union could be on the verge of breaking apart, but their new laws and policies are working against them and making things worse. I'm Mark Moss, helping you navigate the decentralized revolution. So listen to the Mark Moss Show on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you feel like your feet are stepping on broken glass? Sharp pain or tingling in the feet or hands are symptoms of peripheral neuropathy. Are you taking drugs like Lyrica or gabapentin, but they never seem to fix your neuropathy? Are you worried about their side effects? There's a better way. Front Range Medical Center can help. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and debilitating balance problems. Front Range Medical Center can relieve you from neuropathy with no injections and no drugs, using the newest, most advanced treatment. You can start feeling relief in only a few sessions. Call Dr. Dean Anderson, D.C. at Front Range Medical now for a consultation and exam to see if your neuropathy can be treated. He'll provide a painless neuropathy severity exam, normally $200 for just $27. Take action before your neuropathy gets worse. Call Dr. Dean Anderson, D.C. at Front Range Medical at 720-823-0784. That's 720-823-0784.
Listen to us on your radio, on your desktop, and on your smart device. Denver's talk station is available everywhere, in your car, at work, and wherever you go. All you need is our free iHeartRadio app. Just say, play 630 KHOW on iHeartRadio.
Bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. Come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help.
Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino. Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by waterpros.net for your drinking water at the kitchen sink or anywhere you want it. Triple filter reverse osmosis, under $1,000 fully installed. Never buy bottled water again. And in fact, a lot of these water systems, municipal water systems, admit you shouldn't drink their water. They're sending you these stupid filters to put on pitchers. For under $1,000, you can have all the drinking water you want. No bottled water needed. And it's waterpros.net, waterpros.net. Great people, the best products at the lowest prices. 303-862-5554. Deputy Doc, you have a follow-up right away. I don't know. Can we get the guy on? Do you know?
No, but it's a quick follow-up.
Okay, so a lot of people had different comments about this. Let me explain what it is. This guy went to the same dentist, let me lay that out, for 15 years, if that matters. But for the last 5 years, he had a dental plan. And this dentist participated in the dental plan. He would go for his 2 free cleanings a year, no questions asked, paid by the company, the insurance company. One time he went and was charged full tilt on his cleaning. And he said, wait a minute. I've had this dental plan for 5 years, and you've been giving me free cleanings under the plan for 5 years. And the dental office said, we no longer participate in that plan. So, here's the simple question. After having a customer use that plan time and time again, should the dental office have told him, hey, we no longer take your plan, by the way. Now, let me give it some perspective. Deputy Doc said every single time when he was in practice, every single time a patient came to him, they verified insurance. Every single time. And when I go to a doctor, they verify insurance. They ask, by the way, do you have the same insurance? In fact, I got asked that question at Colorado Pain Care, who, by the way, are guests today. They ask, are there any changes to your insurance? Do you have the same insurance? Now, don't you think it should go both ways? Oh, by the way, we see you have this insurance. We no longer take it. Now, I had a lot of texting to the show that day saying, it's up to the patient to know if his insurance is going to pay or not. Well, in a perfect world, that might be so. But if you are administering it and sending bills and getting paid time and time again, and then you stop taking the insurance, don't you think there should be a note in the account so when the patient shows up, you say, by the way, we no longer take your insurance? We thought so. It's common courtesy. Now, again, a lot of the people who text my show said no, that it's up to, we are responsible, and technically we are. But how do we know that a dentist stopped taking our plan? If we've been using it for 5 years, every time we go in, and I want to ask if you do this, do you do it? Every single time you go to a healthcare provider, do you ask, by the way, do you still take my insurance? By the way, do you still take my insurance? No, thank you. And that's Mark on remote, who, by the way, they're on the trails of Moab. That's kind of cool. Sue showed me a video of that. That's like scary crap.
It is a cool place.
It's scary. Have you seen some of those
It's crazy.
Have you done any of those obstacles, Mark?
We've done all of them, man. Well, I'm not going to say all of them, but it's really crazy,
They go
man.
down. Now, some of them, I mean, there's the regular trail, and then there's the obstacles where you go down in a pit and back up again, or you go over certain things. Have you done those? Any weird ones?
Yeah, we did one that's it's similar to what's called Mickey's Hot Tub, which people have heard of if they've ever been out here. We've done Fins and Things, which is a trail that's pretty crazy. We've done a lot, man. It's just a blast.
Mark,
it's a great kind of father-son deal.
When you rent one of those vehicles, I was
God help you.
No, but when you rent one, do you have to pay if you turn over and they have to come out and winch you out? Did you have to pay?
So the one that I rented, it was $740 for basically a day plus. We'll call it that. You keep the vehicle. I paid the extra $59 for the damage waiver, but all the damage waiver covers. You're still out of pocket $3,000 if there's that much damage.
But
and they're about $30,000 machines.
What if they just have to free you, like come out and get you out of a mess to get you out on the trail again?
It depends if it was your fault or their fault.
Well, come on. How could it be their fault, right?
Well, like the machine breaks down, but you didn't do anything to break it down, or a flat tire, or a belt comes off.
Okay. But if you're going down in one of those hot tubs or you're on one of those trails and get stuck or you get wedged and they have to come out and free you, you got to pay for that.
They're going to charge you. You know what's interesting, though, going back to that damage waiver, really your own insurance kicks in. These things are licensed. You can drive them around the roads out here. So your own insurance covers it, but most people, you'd have $1,000 out of pocket or $500 for your own insurance, and then your insurance would pay $2,000. Then you'd be at that $3,000 cap, and they'd pay the rest. But like anything, Tom, there's a bunch of things in the contract. Like if you try to go across water and end up flooding it, the damage waiver is totally void. There's a bunch of voids. Honestly, I think I dropped $59 on mop and glow, but I did it.
Okay, now let's talk on this dentist deputy doc. What happened?
Well, I got a call from Mr. Rohan, and he said apparently somebody heard us on the radio, and a dental office called him up and refunded all his money.
So it was.
Oh, wow!
It took care of itself.
Took care of itself. Like I said, he heard us on the radio, and they called him up and said they're refunding every penny. So we got to give him credit, Dr. Butterman's office, for stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that deserves my dinger. And again, I have to always, you never know on a day-to-day basis if you're going to use your dinger or not. You never really know. So you have to kind of have it ready, and mine was not ready. But there we go. Okay, that's a good success story. Thank you very much. I like starting things off that way. I mentioned I had Colorado Pain Care. We'll talk to them, too. And then there was a scam yesterday that broke our hearts. A woman, 79 years old, was told she won $2.4 million in a Publishers Clearinghouse prize, and they lured her into making 2 payments equaling $100,000 out of her savings. She wired the money. We got her in touch with the FBI. This is way serious. This is not like we're going to make a phone call and these scammers are going to give the money back. Larry's got a comment on that. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, I get a call from those scammers, the same thing that she fell for. I get that same call quite frequently, same people, and I got the call this morning. And, of course, what they want me to do is go to Walmart or somewhere and get one of these green dot cards.
Well, not for $100,000, they don't.
No, that's the first step.
Oh.
I know that that's the first step.
Oh.
And one time, several months ago, I told him, I don't have the money. I said, I'm on fixed income and I don't have the money. And the guy said, well, we'll send you the money. I said, how are you going to send it? He said, we'll send you a check. And he said, we'll send you $200 so you can go get a $200 green dot card. Well, I was skeptical about that, but a week later, I get a cashier's check for $2,200. Well, I know that that's also going to be a scam, because if I cashed it or deposited my account, I know that they're going to cancel it.
That's
right.
right.
I just kept it, and then every time they called, I'd say, oh, I got your check, but I'm not going to cash it. I'm going to frame it and hang it on the wall and say, this is from my friendly scammer. Anyway, turned out that this cashier's check was also a scam against some car dealer in Florida. And he called up wanting to know what the heck I was doing with his cashier's check. And I said, well, I'm just keeping it just as a trophy. And he was upset. I said, well, you're just going to cancel it anyway. And so he said, yeah, but it's going to cost me $25. I said, well, it's not my fault. You probably could have lost a lot more than that.
Well, thank you for letting us know, though.
But I do have the phone number that the guy gave me this morning, because as soon as I get the green dot card, I'm supposed to call them.
Okay, I'm going to make believe. Okay, hold on. Does he know your last name, Larry?
I believe he does.
All right, hold on. Give information to Suze that I can play you and call this scammer.
Okay.
Hold on. Suze, get that information. More coming up.
Hey, Tom.
During this interruption, let's talk about disruption. Emerging new channels, cookieless media. Marketers, are you missing out on one of the most engaged audiences in today's new open web? With Viant's programmatic software Adelphic, stay in tune with digital audio, stream the future on CTV, and level up with in-game, so you can see an average 3 times return on ad spend, maybe even on this very program next time. Viant, built for the new open web. Built for now. Visit ViantNow.com to learn more.
Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. What we need is to know what our house will sell for, to know if we even want to sell it. We don't want to get into a listing agreement and find out it's a bad time. Maybe we can't even buy anything else. What Frank Duran will do is a free market analysis of your home. It's not a come-on, it's not a gimmick, it's a real deal. He'll analyze your property based on his 27 years of experience to tell you what it will sell for and what he can sell it for based on his system. Then you decide what to do. Free of charge, 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. The Art of Granite is so proud of their deals, they will give you a price on the phone. You give them an idea of your project, they'll give you a price that's pretty damn close, whether it's granite or any stone or man-made material. They do it all. And they're right in Golden, basically I-70 and West Colfax out there, and they will show you everything they have in their yard, or you can even buy wholesale from someone else on his account. TheArtOfGranite.com. Whether you find materials somewhere else or with them, they will do the fabrication, installation, tear out, and haul away free, and do the bathroom free when you do the kitchen. TheArtOfGranite.com. 303-386-5919.
My teeth had let me down, but I couldn't afford $60,000 for traditional fixed implants. Not when there's so many other things I needed to spend money on. I just couldn't justify that. So I called 1-833-RENEW-U. Renew's SureSnap system is implant-supported anchored teeth that are more secure than dentures and more affordable than traditional dental implants. I called 1-833-RENEW-U, and I had a brand new smile in just one day. And so can you.
Call 1-833-RENEW-U to talk with a consultant and see if Renew Whole Mouth Teeth Replacement is right for you. Renew. Science with a smile.
Summer's over, but that joint pain is still there, so it's time to do something. Hey, Michael Brown here. I want you to call QC Kinetics now. I know you've put it off long enough. Now it's time to get real lasting relief from chronic pain in your knees, back, shoulder, and hips. QC Kinetics can get you moving again with cutting-edge regenerative treatments. No drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Regenerative medicine uses highly concentrated healing properties from your own body to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. And QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough natural approach to eliminating joint pain. Lots of people here have done this, and they're living life to the fullest, all pain-free. So don't assume that the old ways of dealing with joint pain are the only ways. Call QC Kinetics today. Don't put it off. Call now for a free consultation. Call 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986.
Attention homeowners age 62 or older. Are rising costs and the uncertainty of inflation affecting your peace of mind? There may be a solution for you that millions of homeowners are already taking advantage of. A federally insured home equity conversion mortgage, or HECM, is designed to help older homeowners combat the impacts of inflation by eliminating your monthly mortgage payment and positively impacting your cash flow. To learn more about this program and to find out if you qualify, call the HECM helpline at 800-946-1664. Put your mind at ease and call Colorado-based Cherry Creek Mortgage at 800-946-1664. That's 800-946-1664. Or visit cherrycreekreverse.com. Cherry Creek Mortgage, LLC, NMLS number 3001, Equal Housing Opportunity. Borrowers must maintain the property, taxes, insurance, and HOA dues. This material is not from HUD or FHA, nor approved, endorsed by, or on behalf of any government agency. For licensing, visit www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell. Divorce touches all areas of your life.
Family, friends, career.
But it is a technicality. No, man, it's a technicality. I'm telling you, there are a few organizations that can always find something wrong. You want to know what they are? It's first of all, that's right, the financial industry, the IRS, and the FAA. If you go to pilots, I guarantee you, one time or another, if you dig deep, they did something to their plane, or they flew sometime when they shouldn't, or it was a day over annual, or some technicality that never hurt anybody. But if you fly, or if you have business, or if you take out loans, they're going to. Mark, think of your own loan apps. Think of it, and I'm not saying you purposely lie, but if they went to each and every representation you made, some of those, they have nothing to do with bad faith, nothing at all.
303-221-10X, CordellCordell.com. This report is sponsored by Red Pill America.
No. I know that. We're talking about commercial. Because, for example, what I'm talking about is this. I have a financial statement I submit, right? I value Troubleshooter Network, right? Okay. Who's to say I'm over or undervaluing it? I mean,
Listen to iHeartRadio's original storytelling show, Red Pill America, on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. That's Red Pill America.
630 KO and iHeartRadio.
Are you cut out? All right, I'm on.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. We're here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, make your life a little easier. And I want to make a programming note about the New York Attorney General is suing Trump and his 3 adult children for fraud. It's a civil suit, not a criminal suit. And let me tell you, whenever an Attorney General sues civilly, it means that they believe that they need to protect the public, and they do it. It doesn't rise to a crime, but they do it civilly. Civilly, the burden of proof is less, and it's easier to get convictions or settlements. And usually that's what they go for. But I think the ploy here, and I want to talk about, by the way, civil suits in general and government overreach. And I'm not talking about, I don't care if it's Trump or anybody. Anyone could be sued for this in commercial banking and real estate, and I'll explain how. And I told Mark during the break, there are 3 organizations, and I'll go into more detail, and I mean this very sincerely, 3 organizations that if they want to look into someone's background, will always find something wrong if they want to. They can find something. I mean, they can find something if they want to. One is the IRS.
It's even a little more tricky than just that, Tom. The other part, don't forget, is they get to do the depositions and the discovery. So they're trying to get them to trip up and change their story. They get to open their lives
No,
up.
I know. But what I'm saying is the IRS can always find something wrong on your taxes or something you did going back, always. Now, that doesn't mean it's criminal. It doesn't mean it's serious. But technically, they can find something. I don't think there is one There might be a person who does a 1040 easy, it makes no money, 0 deductions. But I'm talking about most people
on their 1040, they either didn't declare everything or over deducted or depreciated or something that could be found technically wrong. The other one is commercial banking can always find something wrong, and it's a ploy for commercial banks, by the way, to do this, and I'll tell you why. If someone defaults, and this is an education for all of us, this is not political, this is not about Trump. If a commercial bank makes loans, we have to submit financial papers, and one of it is a financial statement. Now, they back it up and they look for documentation, but in all of those financial statements, you have to estimate what things are worth. Your property, your boats, your aircraft, your buildings, your everything. You have to estimate. You don't get hard and fast appraisals on everything you submit in a financial statement. You don't. But the bank wants to know who they're doing business with. So you go into a financial statement guesstimating. Now, do people exaggerate? Maybe. For example, I know some people with financial statements, and they have horses. And they value the horses as show horses or breed horses, as opposed to just grade horses. Or they have aircraft, and they overestimate aircraft based on what they think it's worth, what they'd like to get for it, not what it's actually worth. Artwork, everything. Literally, that can get you in trouble. Any commercial bank that made you a loan can reopen your file and take a fine-tooth comb and go through that application. And if they find something wrong, guess what? It is technically fraud. Now, even if it's unintentional, you sign something saying, that all of these statements are true. And I think what's happening here that's odd with Trump is that I know of no banks asking the Attorney General to do this. They say he got ill-gotten funds or loans. Now, whether you like him or not, whether you like anything at all or not, as far as Republican, Democrat, I don't care, you have to be afraid of government overreach. You have to be. Because they can go into any one of your financial dealings and find something wrong, even when a bank has not filed a complaint. I know of not one bank that made a loan to Trump saying, we feel victimized. We have been defrauded. Has he defaulted on any of those loans? No. So where is the damage? It's a civil suit. Where are the damages for this civil suit? In other words, if you said he overestimated this building, got the loan on another building, he overvalued his assets, therefore we lost money, that would be one thing. But what about when no losses are reported, but there is simply so-called fraud or exaggeration? This is a clear move that they're trying everything, right? Mar-a-Lago, the Russian thing before, January 6th. Now they're trying this. This is a clear move to keep him from ever being eligible to run for president. Doesn't that sound what it now call it what it is. And by the way, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I don't care. I don't care how you feel politically. The government has been weaponized.
How could you say it's not wrong?
No, I am saying I am not calling it right or wrong, because there are some people, Mark, who, because I don't want to get into that part of it. I have my own feelings on it, but I'm saying here, my disclosure of what this is and how it works is not to say it's right or wrong. It's just to tell you how it works. I do have my feelings about it, and I feel the government's being weaponized. It is absolutely, positively being weaponized on both sides to their what they want to get their ends across. And who's ever in power is wielding the weapon. If you can't see it, it's ridiculous. And it goes right down to what we were talking about yesterday: controlling speech, controlling expression, controlling publication. It's scary. It's absolutely scary.
It goes way back to the McCarthy hearings in the 50s.
Well, yeah, everyone has done it. So before someone gets on their mighty horse and says, oh, poor Trump, everyone has done it. Everyone has done it. One way or another, they have weaponized their power to get the other side suppressed. Now, it may not be so blatant as it is today. I mean, if you can't see people are out to get personally this guy, I have never seen more hate toward a person in my life. And I'm talking about not just hate from the opposition, but people secretly saying, I hope he doesn't run. He'll ruin it for the Republicans. I mean, but this is a serious, serious issue because every one of us in our dealings could be found technically wrong with almost everything we do if you truly do the letter of the law. Do you know that there are financial dealings you do when you buy things that you're supposed to, I'm serious now, you're supposed to pay the difference in sales tax from what you paid to where you live? Did you know that? Did you know you as an individual are supposed to gather everything you purchased outside of your taxing jurisdiction? And if you owe more sales tax, you're supposed to pay it voluntarily. Did you know that? Who does that? Who does it? Who does it? And what about inventory tax? When you have to report what you own and how much it went up in value. Who does that? There are all kinds of regulations right now that if the government wanted to weaponize against you, could find things wrong. David's got a moving problem. I have to take a quick break, but David, I need to ask this straight up front. Is this about a mover you found online?
Actually, part of the problem's been fixed. It wasn't a moving problem per se. It was a problem with the mortgage company.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. We'll come right back to you.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Ben Ferguson Podcast.
Easy driving throughout the Denver Metro as we hit that 10 o'clock hour. I-25 southbound showing its normal brief slowdowns between I-70 and Colfax. Up on the northeast end of town near Welby, no surprises here. I-76 westbound showing slower traffic between 84th and I-270. Otherwise green and clean throughout the Denver Metro. I-70 east and westbound flowing free from the foothills to DIA and back again. And on the south end of town for our friends in Aurora and DTC, I-225 north and southbound, no complaints. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Rain showers likely throughout the Metro and foothills today with an overall high of 65 degrees. Current temperature in Denver is 62. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Coming up on the Ben Ferguson podcast, Gavin Newsom is now begging the DOJ to investigate Governor DeSantis for kidnapping after he sends migrants to Martha's Vineyard. I'll explain the politics of all this. Download the Ben Ferguson podcast now.
You know, the liquid loan is a remarkable loan. What is it? It's a 30-year line of credit. That's exactly what it is. So you pay interest only if you want to. Simple interest. You don't pay all the interest up front unless you want to. Let's say you're going to stay in your house a couple years. You pay interest only. Keep your payments really low. Let's say you change your mind, you want to stay in your house. You make a lump sum on the principal, and it goes to the principal. And then you pay less interest. That's how it works. It doesn't work like that with a conventional loan. With this loan, you can borrow it up and pay it down. You can pay it way down, all the way down, and then if you need the money, take it all back. You can borrow even more than your original amount based on your equity. And here's the best part. Every dime you have in savings with the same bank earns the same amount of interest, the same as your loan, which means if rates are up, so are your savings, and it offsets that amount of your loan. Find out more only from Affordable Interest Mortgage. You will love theliquidloan.com. Theliquidloan.com. 720-895-0500.
Grainberry, healthy cereal for your family.
I'm Peter Harris.
That liquid loan is bomb, man. I love it.
Got it. Tell him to hold one
Hold
second.
on, Mark.
Go ahead. Yes, sir. Yes, Mark.
That liquid loan is great, dude.
Yeah, cool. But listen, what do you think about this civil suit? This is This is another weaponization to keep him from running.
Dude, it's not nearly as bad as the Russian thing. That was unbelievable. Going to the Pfizer court and simply lying. No one gets jail time. One FBI guy gets fired, and he probably has a cushy job set up. It's all bullshit.
Okay,
man.
now she did refer it to the district attorney, but, man, I'm telling you, wow. Responding to the announcement, Trump attorney, of course, they're going to say, today's filing. I wonder what they allege, though. Lied 200 times. Alleges the president scores of fraudulent, false, and misleading representations over a 10-year period. If you go through, I see this is so easy to do. Misleading valuations of Trump's assets. And they say the financial statements in question were issued annually. See, oh my God. Mark, I have to do a financial statement for my trust. That technically is a legal document. If I am wrong on something, you know, they could come after me for that. They can come after you for anything.
Yeah,
the financial statements of condition are filed with banks every year. And it's certified. Wow. This woman wants his ass bad.
Yep.
Mark,
really.
were you going to test out the phone system?
And how are we going to do it, Suze? What would be the test?
I'm not going to have, if I do it, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm
The
just not
test
gonna
would
do
be
it
me
here.
taking a nap.
I just already know it's going to be, it's going to be weird.
Why, Mark?
Just the bandwidth here. Like I said, I think we have this down pat. If you're in California, Arizona, or we're at a place where I just got to make sure the high-speed internet is just cranking.
So we're not going to be doing any backwoods camping.
Yeah. You can't even fit in the backwoods.
Shannon.
Mind if I pitch cat in the backwoods?
So Starlink was great yesterday. Here's the problem. Today it's raining and it's overcast, and Starlink is slow. It's weird.
Are you going to be able to get out on the trails?
Yeah, we'll go out rain or snow. Is it raining bad, Miles?
Oh, Tom, I got to show you Miles' video. I'll send that to you here in a few. Troubleshooter show, please hold a minute.
I'll tell you how strange. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, the delay's crazy now.
What?
My delay is now probably a full second.
But how can you tell?
I have Shannon turn up the monitor, and I say echo, and
okay.
I count. Say 1, and I'll say 2. Let's count.
1. Oh, we're done.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Where's the mover? Did he hang up? The guy with the moving
show, what
problem?
is your first name?
He said he had a problem. He's
Jules,
gone.
what's going on, man?
Or is that David?
That's David.
Okay, where's the moving? Okay, that's David. Let's go to Vivian real quick for a comment. Go ahead, Vivian. You have a comment on weaponizing the government? Go ahead.
I just wanted to check and see if you were making excuses for Donald Trump.
No.
This man has not only tried to overthrow our government, but he's used the legal system to delay and procrastinate for all the years that he's been doing things that's illegal.
Well, okay, listen, Vivian, I'm certainly not going to be in a position to defend anyone because I don't know enough. But I will say this. I'm talking about how the government is being used.
Oh, my gosh, you might need to take it to a
running
mechanic.
for office, but you're saying legitimately so. You're saying that truly he should be. You said he tried to overthrow the country, and I want to ask something very seriously.
Yeah.
Do you truly believe
Jules.
he wanted to overthrow
You're going to
the
have to
country?
get it to a mechanic like
I
hands-on
truly
auto
believe he
tech
tried to stop the
to help you with that.
results from the 2020 election from being
Yeah, he did.
certified.
He did want that to happen. You're right about that. Now, did he do it
Well,
illegally?
how about-
did
how
he
about
do
the
it
fact that-
illegally?
Yep. All right,
did he do
Jules.
it illegally, Vivian?
Take care.
Yes, because he could have stopped the insurrection, and he sat there and watched it.
Okay, and then you said what he's been doing illegally for years. What do you mean?
I'm a New Yorker, and we're familiar with Trump, and he did all kind of...
Like what, though, Vivian? Listen, it's pretty easy not to like
I
him.
don't want to be general, but I wasn't expecting to make this call, so I didn't...
Okay, Vivian, listen, I appreciate you calling. You're saying... I'm not making excuses. What I'm saying is I don't like the direction we're going on this. I don't think he's the #1 villain of all time. I think he just doesn't hide.
And do you think he should be sent to jail for some of his criminal activity?
I don't. First of all, Mark, if he did criminal activity and is proven guilty, of course he should, just like anyone. But Vivian, what I'm saying is, I don't think Trump is any better or any worse than anyone else. His personality is vile, but I'm not talking about his personality now. I'm talking about his business dealings.
She's brainwashed. It's not her fault.
I don't think any other person with that wealth has done. I think they've done exactly what he did on his financial statements, and I think they do exactly what he does on a day-to-day basis, and I think he's just unlikable, and that's why he's...
that the man tells lies all the time?
What?
That's number one. Do you think he's believable, that he doesn't lie constantly?
No,
I think anybody in office lies.
Yeah,
like a rug.
I don't. But Vivian, really,
the scam where he ripped off
Vivian, you're talking to the wrong person, because you're talking to someone that looks at everything. I think Biden lies too. I mean, how does he get up behind a podium and tell everyone we're doing great?
Everybody lies, but I'm talking about a prevaricator of the biggest magnitude. Every time he opens his mouth, practically, he's not telling the truth.
Look, am I doubting? Wow. Am I doubting that's happened? No, I'm not doubting that. But you don't think politicians do that in general?
Yes, politicians lie, but we're not talking about just lying once in a while. Trump lies constantly from everything he said. He has a cult following.
See, Vivian, you're on a soapbox. You're not giving me any facts. You're just spewing more hate. You know what? That's what you're doing. What's really amazing is you're just spewing more hate about him. I get you. He is not a likable person. I'm serious. He's not. In fact, he makes my stomach turn, okay? But he truly is being targeted. If you can't see that, it's ridiculous. This man's not the #1 villain. If you looked into Obama or anyone, but they don't. Isn't that funny? They don't. You know why? Because he shut it down. No one looked into Obama's background. No one did. They couldn't. They wanted to, but they only go so far. Institutions protected him. When he applied to college, why can't we see how he applied? Did he apply as an exchange student or as a U.S. citizen? Did he use his standing to try to get into school or not? Maybe he didn't. But the point is, no one could look. With Trump, everyone wants them to look because they don't like him. It all like Clinton. They went after Clinton, but only to a certain extent. But Clinton has not been canceled. He's not villainized. They love Clinton. Why? Because he's a nicer person. They are judging Trump on his personality, and I get it. He's not a likable guy. But if you can't see the direct targeting of this man, that's ridiculous. And I'm not saying he's a saint or should be left alone. But my God, you got it. Why don't you do it equally? And why don't we cover it equally? Why didn't we cover the Biden son's laptop who talked about his dad getting money as part of his deals? We never even covered it, Vivian. Why? Because old Joe is a nice guy and people don't want to pick on him. And the media loves him and they don't love Trump. It's sad. Just like, you don't think Bezos has ever exaggerated about something on his financial statement? Or what about, Musk? People don't like him, but they like Bezos. They go by who they like. That's what we are, basic human nature. If we like someone, we give them a pass. If we don't like them, we attack them. That's honest to God what we're doing. You can't see it. You see, people don't like when I see things like this because it's too neutral, because I attack everyone or no one. David, what's going on? You said you have a loan problem. Can you sum it up?
Well, we managed to fix the loan problem. They finally sent in the last bit of paperwork.
What is the loan problem, though? Are you applying for a purchase money loan or a refi?
Well, what it is it was my father's loan.
Okay, and tell me about it. Was your father applying for a loan for something?
Well, let me back up a little bit on this.
Go ahead.
So that we get the full picture.
Go.
My dad was a big fan of yours. We listened to you all the time. He passed away 2 years ago. I took his death really bad.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. You were really close to him. What happened then?
Me too.
I was disabled, still am. I almost died 2 weeks after he did.
Yes.
I developed rot in my left leg and almost lost a leg. I have a huge, nasty scar on it.
All right, now, I think you might be giving me too much background, and I mean that sincerely. So get to the problem with the loan.
Well, what happened is, after I decided to move recently, and they were going to foreclose on the house.
Wait. Are you living in your dad's house?
Yes, I lived with them all my life.
Okay, and when he died, did you refinance or keep that loan he had?
I was too messed up physically and emotionally.
David, no, I'm not asking for the excuses. I don't care about that. I do agree with you. Listen, no, David, I'm not trying to be cold. What I'm asking is just straight facts. Did you keep the loan that he had when he died?
I could not get access to the loan. The company would not deal with me in any way.
David, then I'm going to ask you another question. Did you take out a new loan when he died? That's a yes or a no.
No, I did not.
Okay, so did you make payments on his... David, please, I'm going to let you talk, but I need certain facts first. And we can part company if you don't want to do it. I understand if you're too emotionally upset, but I need certain facts. Did you make payments on his loan after he died?
No, I could not. I was on disability and only had...
Okay, now hold on and I'll come back to you. Hold on.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories podcast.
Easy driving throughout the Denver Metro as we get closer to that 11 o'clock hour into downtown. I-25 southbound showing its normal brief slowdowns between I-70 and Colfax. Up on the north end near Welby, no surprises here. I-76 westbound brief slowdowns as well between 84th and I-270. Otherwise green and clean driving throughout the Denver Metro. I-70 east and westbound, no complaints from the foothills to DIA and back again. And on the south end for Aurora and DTC drivers, I-225 north and southbound, no complaints. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, chance of showers this afternoon with a high of 65 degrees, overnight low of 52. The current temperature in Denver is 61. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
The Pony Express is known worldwide, but its story is not. It was part of a larger company and only lasted 18 months, which was sort of the plan all along. Be sure to catch this week's edition of Our American Stories on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You know, reverse loans, when we talk about loans, they're a very special animal. Reverse loans accrue against your equity, so they will eat up your equity, but they allow you to live on it tax-free while you're alive. But it could eat up enough equity that you don't have a lot to leave. You have to decide if you want one. Approval Reverse is an excellent source for reverse loans, and they'll tell you the truth. Mary Jane and the team will help you each and every step. Why don't you call Approval Reverse and find out more about reverse loans? We've known them for years. Joan Sullivan is the owner. 303-771-3528. That's ApprovalReverse.com, 303-771-3528. If you need extra cash, you can sell your old jewelry. A lot of people are doing it. And what's good about David Ellis Jewelry, it's a name we've trusted for 40 years, right down in Cherry Creek, 3rd and Clayton. Look for the black awning, 3rd and Clayton. That is 2640 East 3rd Avenue. And here's the great news. Not only does he buy your tangled messes, mismatched earrings, broken watches, where they weigh it and pay it, he'll also buy your estate jewelry, your jewelry that is beautiful, your jewelry ready to go, your precious stones. And he'll give you a fair price for that. 303-322-8779, 322-8779, DavidEllisJewelry.com.
Fall is for planting, and the Tree Farm's 50-cent tree sale continues. This is our biggest sale of the year with thousands.
Hey, Shannon, how's my delay now? That sounds better. I heard it.
You want to yell?
I heard it.
Is it good?
That's a pretty awesome trip that Mark's on.
That's better.
All right.
That's a pretty awesome trip that Mark's on.
He's with his son. It's fine.
Goodness.
Man.
Guy next door's got a nice rig, babe.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What is it, a Prevost
Hey,
or something? Or is it one of the big fancy ones? Or
No, it's a Newell.
Oh,
It's pretty
okay.
nice.
I like
it's equivalent.
I like that color scheme when they do like the cream and the kind of blue and gray. I think they look cool, those newer ones. On the newer.
There's a gorgeous Essex like ours right across the street.
Oh, nice.
I was able to stay for a while in a Beaver back in '99. That's Newell, right? Yeah. No, it's a Beaver 2000. And that was up at, really, when Broncos training camp was there. I stayed in that thing on the training camp lawn for a month. And it was about a $500,000 unit in '99.
Wow.
Yeah, that's $1 million plus now.
Yep. Had John Elway's dad, Jack, come in and hey, ship a little vodka with me.
Shannon's met everybody.
Well, yeah, but that was a good one because we used to get these guys to come right off the field into the air-conditioned, fully stocked bar that was whatever I had left from the night before.
That's who my son works
Like
for.
I don't think I should. I have Belvedere.
Oh, I know.
Good stuff.
I'm serious.
I'll be right in.
Jack Elway, the best.
They're doing everything they can think of to get this guy.
Troubleshooter Show. What is your first name? Mark. Hi. In a sentence or less. What would you like to talk to Tom about on the show today?
His politics and how wrong he is.
Comment on Trump. Hang on, man.
Bam! I nailed it.
Trump comment.
Well, he has been accused of a lot of stuff, Mark.
He's been accused of more shit than anybody I've met.
Then again, a guy who's stolen 130 cars still gets out on a personal recognizance bond, so he must be fine.
Charles Manson had less court issues.
That's why I think that.
Oh, here we go.
That's why I think that people are over.
We're coming back.
BuyItNow.com to learn more.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I'm going to take a quick comment from Mark. Go ahead, Mark. What is your comment? And then I'm going to go back to David and help. Mark, what's going on?
Hi, I just wanted to. Yeah, I think you're a little bit off on the on Trump when they say people don't like him because
I'm sorry,
who he is.
you cut up. I'm a little bit off on what. Keep going, sir. I'm sorry.
I think when you say people don't like him for who he is, I think he's been demonized because he tried to root out corruption, and I think everybody went after him from that point. I don't really.
I mean that could be that's the portrait he painted, and that could be. But there are, here's what I said. And again, I don't want this to come off as I'm sticking up for anyone.
I'd like to ask a question to that lady. I'd like to ask a question to that lady. What does she think about them demonizing his wife and his 10-year-old son.
Yeah.
Stuff
Amen.
Like that.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it, Mark. You're right. He is being demonized. You're absolutely right.
She doesn't care. She doesn't like them either. I guarantee it.
But anyway, let's go back to David now. And again, these comments, folks, are I invite them all. You don't have to agree or not agree with me. And I don't know how I'm off on this. I'm saying that he has been demonized, and it's mostly because of his personality. I really believe that. I think he's off-putting. I'm just talking as a person. People react to personalities. I mean, look at we're a very shallow nation. Our presidents have all been tall. Our presidents have all been a certain look. I mean, think about it. It's really weird how we react to people. I need to know and Tony, stay on there real quick. David, I don't want you to mistake my questions for an attitude of not wanting to help. But before we need to know what situation you're in. I need to know something. When your dad died, as my mother would say, God bless his soul, when he died, did you transfer the home through probate into your name?
I didn't even know I could. Nobody would help me with anything.
Okay, I get it. Okay, so the answer to that is no. So right now you have a home in your dad's name that you've been living in, not making payments on the mortgage. Is that right?
Not at this time. Actually, things have changed drastically since then.
How have they changed?
First off, we've got an estate set up, for him, and I'm the executor of the estate.
Okay.
Second, we've actually done a sale of the house. The loan company, the original loan company, tried to interfere with the sale. And
why? Why did they interfere with the sale? Wouldn't they want to be paid off?
They say that I was not the successor, and they were refusing to admit that I was the successor of his estate.
So they said you didn't have authority to sell it?
Now, they came around just a day ago after I filed a complaint with the Attorney General's office.
Can I ask you something, David? Do you have an attorney? Do you have an attorney helping you?
I did not. I managed to get this done by myself.
Okay, so here's what I need to know, without a story. Where does it stand today? Are you selling the house?
Yes, it is going to be sold on Thursday. The problem is, because of the situation that the mortgage company created, I'm now out a total of $1,600 that I had set aside for moving, and I'm having problems setting up the move. And not only that,
So hold on. You had to spend $1,600 to fight them?
Actually, that was for the U-Haul I had already rented.
No, I'm talking about the $1,600 you no longer have. You had to spend it. You had to divert it. What did you divert it toward?
Well, $500 of that was for the down payment on the place that I was moving to.
Okay, no. What I'm asking, David, you said because of the bank, you no longer have the money. How did the bank cause the problem? That is going to be my question. You said you had $1,600 put aside, and now you don't because of what the bank did. I need to know that.
Did you know that you do not have to hire multiple
She got me a water. Yeah, we got coffee here. I'm golden, thank you.
Hey, who's the guest today?
No. He hasn't spoken yet, has he?
No. Someone remind Tom in a nice way.
Nice ways don't really get it done with him. And I find that most people that have a problem with Trump have an ego problem of their own.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
That's why they don't like him.
It's Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter, mornings at 10. streaming live on our free iHeartRadio app and at khow.com.
These 30
Good
degree
morning, Kate.
swings
How's this
are crazy, aren't they?
Wow. Yeah.
We're in like 90 yesterday.
Oh,
Now it's time for a sweater.
I know.
Golly,
Like the misty overcast that like,
Yeah.
makes it feel cold.
Yeah, and I personally like it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's just, I mean, I like everything at the time it's supposed to be there, right? Like in July, I like it hot because
Yeah.
it's supposed to be that way in the
Yeah.
summer. But
'Cause
like
it's
now,
July.
Like, yeah. And I want to be at the beach and hanging out on a lake, but
Yep.
like,
understood. Well,
give it
my
to us.
apologies that it's a different show and different stuff right now. This is just.
We'll see. I don't know. And
I
I know that it's going to like ramp back up. They kind of
and I don't.
turn it over.
Not that I wouldn't
I
sell
think
him
our
out
really
in a
hot
heartbeat
days are
and give you all
over.
sorts of information. I just don't know how to find them right now.
Organized sham referendum. Try to
It's 4:0.
We're lucky that Mark
He
can
will
get good
definitely
service
need you guys
4
to-
hours a day in Moab.
Starlink.
Oh.
The Tesla, Elon Musk
Yeah.
Starlink.
What
It's
show
the
did
RV
he indicate? 'Cause, we got
version.
Yeah.
So it's the
2 more in the
portable.
meantime.
Oh, nice.
And then you can
Did he say-
turn it on and off when you're traveling.
Dan
Yeah.
Kaplan
So
or-
that way you're not paying the monthly.
Right.
If we're not
what
anywhere,
was-
then
Right.
there's no sense in paying for it.
For sure.
So, but it's so
Oh,
easy
so
to
that's
plug
2
it in,
p.m.
and if there's no trees
Oh,
or
okay. So he
overcast,
wanted
it
to.
finds the
You know what?
satellite
I'm
like
going to
that.
try to find
And then you
to
got great
get a hold of you.
Yeah.
At what time
That's
was
cool.
you scheduled
Yeah,
to
I
do
don't
this?
think he could
Nice.
do it without that in Moab. Maybe if their internet, like the last time we were in
Yeah,
Moab,
they had a
it
hotel or
wasn't great.
something, but yeah. Yeah.
The Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Like even if you're at a hotel or something, you're still kind of like spotty and slow and stuff. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can be for sure.
Yeah. How long is he out there for?
They left on Saturday. They're doing a father-son trip, and then they're probably coming home tomorrow. Maybe Friday, but probably coming home tomorrow. It's a 6-hour drive.
Yeah.
7 in the
And
bus.
it's
Right.
awfully hard for me to even.
Is that what they have, like an RV or something?
Yeah, we have a coach.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure do.
Oh, that's really nice.
Well,
Yeah, really cool.
I could, if you want me, I can take your number and try to track him down as quick as I can through some means, if I may. Okay.
So you enjoying your
Hey, Shannon.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I stay super busy.
Oh, I'm
like,
sure.
But I'm not alone that often. Like,
Yeah.
the last
so it's
time I was
kinda
alone
nice.
for any significant amount of time was 2 years ago.
Nail this
So,
down, okay?
a couple hours in the house here and there, but
Right.
not like Mark and I, carpool.
Yeah, man.
Right.
We're always together.
Yeah.
So, but it's
Mark.
kind of nice.
Yeah.
Walking
What?
dogs a lot.
What's going on?
I'm going to disconnect and reconnect trying something else, so I'll be
That's
right
the
back.
thing.
Love it.
Well, you can just relax and watch some TV at night.
Yeah, actually, I've been working. Working makes time fly.
It does.
Get all my admin stuff done. Lots of yoga.
Yeah.
Now, are you cooking or are you going out?
I've
Or
been
doing
cooking
take
my
home?
own meals, fish every night. Mark does, I make my little salmon, shrimp, seafood soup.
Mark doesn't like fish?
He likes some shrimp.
What do you think of my voice changed box?
But he won't eat fish?
He doesn't eat fish.
Well, I know we grew up, it wasn't until I was like 30 years old that my mom used to tell us we never had fish because my dad was allergic to it. And then when I grew up, I found he just didn't like it.
Oh.
So that's why we never had it. But she
Oh.
always lied and said it was allergic to it.
Oh, well, that's funny. My mom ate cheesecake all the time, and I'm like, what is that? She goes, it's cheesecake. You wouldn't like that. You wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
And then as an adult, I tried cheesecake. I'm like, I like
Right.
this. Yeah.
Who doesn't? Right. Who doesn't like cheesecake?
Right.
Especially New York style cheesecake.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, who do I have on where? Okay, got it.
You got me?
Yeah.
Yep.
That sounds quick.
Okay. It'll change.
Yeah. Now I heard the delay.
Okay.
Fuck. Fucking Musk.
Oh my God, you're blaming him?
Yes, it's his Starlink. They got to figure a way to where clouds don't obstruct anything.
Welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. For pain, inflammation, anxiety, it's great for anti-inflammatory properties. They put in cosmetics. They have pet products. RealCBDThatWorks.com. That's Panacea Life Sciences. You'll get 30% off all products with Tom in the promo code. That's RealCBDThatWorks.com. Speaking of pain, I have Colorado Pain Care is our guest today, and I wanted to ask Eli. He's a physical therapist, and there are doctorate levels of physical therapists. And one thing they told me at Colorado Pain Care is if you have a physical therapy issue or want to make an appointment with this physical therapist directly, you can, and then they can evaluate if you need to see a doctor or not because of their level of education. So, or you can go to a doctor, of course, if you have a medical issue. Or they can decide when you call them, and it's 303 Got Pain. Eli, I want to ask a question. Have you heard about, and I'm not asking for promotion or anything, I'm just really truthfully, have you guys ever heard of CBD helping pain? I mean, I know you guys have a lot of conventional medicines and stuff, and I know that you're not into making lifelong pain pill addicts for sure. You try to get people out of pain and get their life back. But have you ever looked into CBD?
Yeah, so just on one point earlier, too, so in terms of coming directly to us as physical therapists, so many insurers are allowing that, though for many payers, they still require a physician's visit first.
Okay,
so we do still
good.
encourage that our patients...
And by the way, and I was talking about people who have a prescription for PT. You can go directly to you guys without seeing a doctor, right?
If they have a standing prescription, then yes, they can come see us directly. They also can, but don't have to be a standing patient of the pain practice. They can also just see us directly for physical therapy needs as well.
But you're right, some do require a referral to a doctor, from a doctor.
Correct. But to your point about CBD, you know, it's certainly you can't argue with the benefits of anti-inflammatory interventions, right? So much of pain processes and pain drivers are inflammatory in nature. We're always looking for ways that we can promote anti-inflammatory means, and certainly the less invasive, the better. So there could be a lot of merit to those creams. You know, the evidence right now, it's hard to say specifically who will and won't respond to them based off of a demographic information. But we tend to not discourage people from trying. There's usually no harm in trying. If you try it, it seems to help with your inflammation and control your pain. Great. We can include it in a part of your plan of care. But it's not necessarily something that we prescribe based on a specific demographic or pain presentation.
What do you think about, and by the way, I had, as you know, I'm a patient of your guys, and and it was actually Dr. Mogum who coordinated my surgeon. He was in a nice way very stern about me not getting a fusion. He says, Tom, your bones don't look bad. Your physiology doesn't look bad. It looks like you just have some nerve problems. Why would you go and do that to yourself if you don't have to? We believe in less first and then more later. So he coordinated with Dr. Beckham. He was the one that did it. He insisted that please see him, which took away all my pain.
Troubleshooter Show, what is your
Now,
first name?
Obviously, I work out, and
Joseph, in a sentence or less, what would you like to talk to Tom about on the show today?
What I call normal aches and pains. None of that nerve pain where it's debilitating, you can't work, your back's out. So
Okay,
I get
hang
that.
tight, listen to
and
the phone.
I find that a TENS unit, I have one on right now, because I do work out pretty heavy, and I need to ask you about that, because I think people bring on their own problems, and I think I might be doing something wrong. And we're going to talk about stupid moves coming up. But TENS unit, to me, gives a lot of comfort, and it's you don't see it. It's right under my shirt there in the back, and it just has a light stimulation. I have the control. What do you think about TENS?
Yeah, so
is it TENS or TINS? TENS, right? TENS.
TENS. So it's an acronym. So transcutaneous electric nerve stimulation.
Okay. Yeah.
So essentially, it's interrupting pain signaling. So there's a concept called convergence, where nerves from the periphery or outside of our spinal column converge as they enter the spinal cord. And there's a convergence of pain nerve endings as well as mechanical nerve endings that kind of converge at the same point. So if you stimulate one, you can actually override or interrupt another.
So that's why it's interrupting the pain signal.
That's correct.
But does it actually help with circulation and stuff in that tissue? Does the electrical current help in addition to that?
There's some argument that it can promote blood flow. Really, the evidence that we utilize it for primarily is the interruption of pain signaling more than the promotion of blood flow.
All right. And by the way, if you have any questions for Colorado Pain Care, he'll be here. And we're going to talk about stupid moves because I see them all the time. We'll talk about that. Now,
hey, Eli, do you do acupuncture as part of your program?
We do dry needling.
Dry needling,
so
yeah.
It's using a similar tool, but a little bit more of a Western medicine approach where we're going directly into target tissues, trying to release at a localized level, and including it, again, in more of a direct Westernized medicine approach.
They do some dry needling. They do some conventional physical therapy, and they do what I call they do some manipulation. I mean, again, a chiropractor calls it an adjustment. A physical therapist might call it something else. But they were remarkably similar in what you guys did to me, remarkably similar in mobilizing. That's what he said. He was mobilizing certain joints of the spine.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And again, that goes to show, that while there are interdependencies to the professions, there's also many ways in which we act
There's
similarly.
Common threads for sure.
Yep.
Now, Tony, you have a comment I talked about earlier, and again, I try to keep my commitment on not trying to change. I'm not trying to change minds. I'm not trying to change your politics or religion. I just like to bring things up, and I talked about the investigation from the Attorney General into Trump. It's a civil fraud case that she brought, and I said civil fraud is, you can find purpose for civil fraud in almost any major financial transactions and certain government agencies. And I think that I wondered, is it truly protecting the public, or is it they want to just keep this guy from running for office, and why is he so unlikable, and blah, blah, blah. And I've been getting various comments. I just want to leave it at that. Tony, what's your comment?
First of all, I'm sure you were well aware that that New York Attorney General first impaneled the grand jury to go after these same issues, and that fell apart. So because they have to keep the charade going, now she's going after him civilly.
Because she could not, you're right, it did not rise to the level of a criminal indictment. You're absolutely right. So she took the civil route.
So listen, I know you're not a political talk show, and you and I have talked together for 30, 40 years. You've helped me in many areas. And so I am not upset, but I sure wish people would call out other people. When that first lady called in, I think her name was Vivian, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
She said and all of his other crimes or something to that effect.
No, I know.
That's horrific.
She's
What
brainwashed.
crimes?
No, you're right. You're right. That is a pervasive attitude when it comes to Trump, yet they do not apply that same standard to anyone else.
So I have one more question, or one more comment, if I may. I think that a great majority of the Democratic Party is not aware of the fact that the Democratic Party has always and was always the party of slavery. They fought to keep slavery.
Well, but it was so many years ago. I mean, we can't really.
I understand that. I understand that. Let me finish. My point is that at what point did the Democratic Party have some great antithesis, or not antithesis, some great
epiphany,
awakening, and said, exactly, and say, hey, wait, you know what, we were wrong. We should have not tried to enslave the black people.
But
what has really happened is that they have been successful in changing their message. The Democratic Party has destroyed the nuclear black family through their...
No, I will say this, and Tony, I want to move on to David's problem, but Tony, the point I think you're making, maybe you're not, but what I hear is, and I truly believe this, both parties have made major mistakes and changed their positions many times, okay? In fact, liberals and progressives have totally flip-flopped, totally. What used to be liberal is now conservative. What used to be conservative is now liberal. It is absolutely, without a doubt, I protested alongside people who now love Big Pharma, love the government, love censorship. They literally ask for it and crave it. So I don't want to go into that right now. But here's what I want to say as far as the parties go. They each have done their own damage, and they will continue to do so. And that's just the way it is. I don't know why, but I think people feel they have to be aligned on one side or the other. And they do, and they flip-flop often. But they don't flip-flop immediately. It takes time. And as far as epiphanies, I don't think anyone on any talk show ever changes someone's mind. They don't. I think what you have is a staunch set of conservatives and a staunch set of liberals, and you have some independent people who sway elections. That's what I think. And the independent people sway elections based on certain things, either the economy or their religion or whatever they find sacred, they will vote for. But I think personality has a lot to do with it. And I think through history you'll find that people with strong, obnoxious personalities don't fare well when it comes to the general electorate. I mean, just look at history. Now, David, his dad died, and David did not transfer the house until later. Then he did. Now he has an estate open. He has the house being sold. He wants to pay off the loan. So, David, you inherited the house from your dad. You're selling it. What is the issue now? You're selling the house, which is good. You can pay off the loan. Will you have any extra money after you pay off the loan?
Just enough to buy a very small place in Wyoming.
Okay. All right. So what is the issue right now then?
All right. When they blocked the original sale,
yes,
made the first purchase that I was going to do fall through. I had done a down payment of $500 on the place, and I'm out that $500. Not only that, we had already had a moving truck from U-Haul that was loaded. We had to unload it.
Okay, so the fact that the bank fought you cost you money. I need to know this. Why did the bank fight you if they were going to be paid off? Why?
Well, it wasn't actually a bank. It was a place called the Money Source, and they wanted full control over the property.
But why? Why? It doesn't make sense to me. Why?
Well, by the looks of it, they wanted all the money.
Okay, it makes no sense to me, David, that a lender wants to come in and take every penny from the house when they're only owed for a loan. So unless you make sense of this, so you're telling me they wanted to block the sale because they wanted the whole house for themselves?
They actually instituted a lawsuit to take immediate control of the property.
All right, here's what I want to do, David. I want you to send me the lawsuit because what you're saying makes no sense to me. I don't know. Mark, does it make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me. He's saying that they wanted full control of the house. I think the reason they wanted full control of the house maybe is because they did not think you were selling it forthwith. That's what I think. But
I have no idea.
Yeah, this is making no sense to me, David. I'm really sorry, okay? I think you're selling the house. You're doing the right thing. Send me the lawsuit, and we'll look into it. Al's got a quick question for Eli. If we don't, we'll answer it after the break. What is your question, Al?
Well, it's got to do with my the pain and the injections because I'm getting ready to do another procedure. So.
All right, then hold on for that, okay? Because we want to give him time to answer that. And then we have a question on stem cell therapy coming up.
Many dental practices are owned or controlled by corporations that own lots of clinics and whose primary motivation is profit. But when it comes to dentistry, I prefer Aspenwood Dental and the Colorado Dental Implant Center, where their approach is 100% patient-centric. Unlike many other dental practices where they basically just push the same package of treatments on everyone, Aspenwood Dental's doctors and hygienists are focused on your specific needs and wants. As a patient at Aspenwood Dental, you will always know that your wishes are respected and your questions get answered. And that's part of the reason that my wife and I are such happy patients of Drs. Yaros, Augustine, Zeppelin, and Son, and love the whole team at Aspenwood Dental. Whether you need general dentistry, cosmetic dentistry, or what my wife needed, an implant to replace a failed or damaged tooth, or even multiple teeth, you won't find anybody better. To book your first appointment or just a free consultation, please get started at aspenwooddental.com. That's aspenwooddental.com. And please do tell them you heard about them from Ross.
Right now, a lot of people are looking into reverse loans because they want to get out from under a house payment and just have that relief. Some people want an emergency line of credit or both. And whatever's on your mind, let me direct you to one of our approved lenders for reverse loans, ApprovalReverse.com. Joan Sullivan and Mary Jane are there to help you. ApprovalReverse.com, a small company with direct, individualized attention to get your loan done quickly and efficiently with all the right information you need to make the choice. 303-771-3528, 771-3528.
Imagine for a moment that this ad was bought autonomously.
All right, you too.
So anyway, I have to figure out what I'm doing wrong. I was thinking of making an appointment with you guys because while I have none of the nerve pain at all, none of it that I had. I mean, I had my legs, I could hardly move in the morning, and if I was just sitting here, I was in total misery.
Yeah.
My buttocks, my legs. And the doctor, I had a 5-hour.
You there, Mark?
He said my nerves were through all kinds of shit.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, is it pouring rain or what?
Yeah, it's raining pretty good.
Yeah.
Could that be
We're gonna split
the problem with Starlink?
Yeah, Starlink made it rain.
I was in no pain, zero pain.
No, I've watched a bunch of van lifer cats, and they got Starlink, and they always say, hey, we're going to go live here in a while, but it's raining, so we'll probably lose it.
Yeah.
When you work out.
Yeah.
You got to work out right.
Yeah.
He said,
because rain do suck up a lot of bandwidth.
You may not be able to do just
yeah, it does.
And you just don't do it. He says, you know, and I thought, I thought if you get healthy, you can do any exercise. But he said there are just some people that, he said, I had some, you know, some issues, and he said there's certain exercises he doesn't recommend for certain people. He doesn't like crunches. He doesn't like, God almighty, he absolutely doesn't like any swinging or twisting like kettlebells.
Yeah.
Twisting. He said,
Yeah.
People weren't meant to. You know, early man didn't go out and do the twist. And
Yeah.
So he said to try to mimic what we were supposed to do. There's certain things, like walking is pretty natural.
Yeah.
Running isn't. He said it's too much concussion, but you can do a little bit of running and walking. Walking, swimming. He likes cycling, but then he said weights are fine, but don't do too much bearing on your spine, like squats and certain. I don't know. Is that true?
Yes, I mean, kind of what it stems back to is any surgery. They'll do what are called cross-sectional area studies. So the cross-sectional area, like the thickness of a muscle, is a good indicator of its strength. So we have these really deep core muscles that run like pretty parallel with the spine that research has shown lose a lot of their cross-sectional area after a surgery, and it's really hard to build that strength back up. So even though we get
age too, right?
Yeah, age for sure, surgery, all these things. Yeah. So what happens is as we get back into activity, our body does a really good job of developing other muscle groups, right? But we never really get into the level of these deep core muscles that really help to stabilize the spine and control the movement of the spine at a localized level. So it's kind of like what we were talking about on the last show when we were talking about core strengthening and some of like the more neutral spine kind of strengthening, planks, those sorts of things, right? Because what it does is it doesn't just help to build your core strength up, but it helps to get into some of those deeper core layers. They really do, especially, I mean, put back surgery aside, they help. But then you have back surgery and it has this accelerating effect on the weakness of these deep core muscles. It helps to build that back up.
So, David, if you want to shoot us an email with that lawsuit, I'm happy to get that over to Tom and call you back. Do you want my email?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But again, because it's that stabilizing effect. It is, right. But again, it's but you can turn a plank into a dynamic movement. Like people will do a plank and then they'll start to do like an arm and less.
630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. And we're just talking off the air with physical therapy on making an appointment just to find out what to do, not necessarily to, for a specific problem, but like just what should I do in my situation to build strength? And everybody may have a different set of exercises that would be good for them. And you can do that with a physical therapist. Now, Al had a question for Eli from ColoradoPainCare.com. Okay, so go ahead, Al. What's your question?
Hey, Tom. Hey, before I start, though, I want to just say that guy that just called, he needs to stay in his lane. He don't know what he's talking about. The Democrats back then was Dixiecrats, and I'm black, and I can say they hadn't did that. So parties switch. So I just want to say,
politics are always switching and moving and doing what,
that's what I'm saying. Just like a lot of people say, oh, Martin Luther King was a Republican. Well, back then it was just Dixiecrats and Republicans. So a lot of them switched over. I mean, you got to do your history if you're going to talk on it. Don't
All right, Al.
Let you know on it.
All right, Al.
So anyway, I want to get to my problem now. What the thing I have is the question I have, Colorado. Can you do a certain amount or limit for injections? Like I've been having injections and procedures done. They're trying to kind of the same thing you were going through, Tom. But I got a lot of pain running down my leg, so I got one coming up.
They're trying to do what's a nerve block. They're trying to find the nerve that's causing that and doing an injection. They use it not only for treatment, but it's almost a diagnostic tool as well, Al.
Exactly. And they've been doing a lot of them.
So what is your question, though, about...
Is there a certain number that you're not supposed to keep doing them? Like, because I didn't have probably... I think the last one they just did recently, they was trying to find...
How many have you had?
Well, that's what I'm getting to. The last week they did... not last week, about a month ago, they did... They were going to do a thermoablation on me, so they had to do diagnostic first. They gave me 8 shots in my back. That made me worse. That didn't help, so they called me back in, and they just did a shot between my L3 and L4.
But Al, you're asking two different things. A thermal ablation is a different animal than injections. If you're talking about steroid anesthesia injections, trigger point injections, or nerve blocks, or whatever people call them, I was always told the same joint, you shouldn't have more than 3 of those. Because you're going to start deteriorating the joint, and then you start looking for more long-range solutions. But, Eli, I don't want to put words in your mouth. What do you think about trigger point injections?
Yeah, and Al, to answer your question, too, different injections are going to have different guidelines, right? So there's certain injections that, to Tom's point, we want to be conservative in terms of how frequently we're providing those injections because of concern for joint deterioration or whatever it may be, correct? There's others that we can do more frequently, and that's on kind of a case by case basis. I think perhaps the bigger question is trying to look at reasons why you're needing so many in the first place. And one of the things we really try to do as a practice is provide comprehensive care. And so I don't know if you're actively involved in physical therapy or if there's other interventions that you're doing outside of just the injections that might provide you some relief to get you through these periods. But certainly when you're hitting injection limits, we do try to look at other avenues that we can take to provide some pain relief.
Like thermal ablation. Are you having that done, or did you have it done?
Well, they was going to do it, but when they were doing the diagnosis, I told her that it made me worse, so they stopped that. They said they're not going to do it because if it didn't, they couldn't find the joint, the nerve that was causing it. So
right. If they can't find the nerve, they don't want to just go in and start burning nerves. Right. That's
right.
exactly.
And so that MRI you told me to go do, I went and did that where you sit up in the thing.
Yeah.
So I gave them that. They looked at that, and she said what's causing it is right at the lower disc, they slipped out and they're closing up those canals.
Yeah.
So the fluid is not going through, so it's causing pain down my leg. So she's going to do another injection between L5 and L4, and then she wanted to do L3 and L4 because she want to cover the whole area because they said.
Well, Al, let's put it to you this way, okay? To make a long story short, those injections are they're therapeutic, but they're more diagnostic. I think she wants to know, is she finding the right nerves? And if they find them, but listen, and if they do work, then they'll know what to do. They may say to you, like Dr. Mogum said, Tom, we found the nerves, now go get them fixed permanently. So, they obviously try to avoid surgery at all costs, but if surgery is necessary, they'll recommend it. But at least you'll know way more than just going to a surgeon. Unfortunately, medicine is not perfect. And you could go to a surgeon, and I call them one-trick ponies. No matter what, they're going to say fuse, 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 fuse. And another one might say, we don't know, we got to find. And they don't necessarily turn you away. What I like about Colorado Pain Care is, yes, they treat pain, okay? Their object is to get you out of pain with less invasive methods than surgery. However, if surgery is needed, Colorado Pain Care has already done 90% of the diagnostic work, and they hand it over to the surgeon. They work hand in hand with the surgeon, and that saves the surgeon loads of time, and they know, oh, this block didn't work, this one did, here's where the nerve must be, and then they talk to each other, right, guys? I mean, you guys aren't against surgery, right? You're not against surgery if they need it.
Correct. Yeah. But to your point exactly, it's trying not to just jump to that.
Yes, of
knowing
course.
that it is an effective option when that needs to be the case. But you hit the nail on the head. We go through our diagnostics, we go through our decision tree to get to that point. And if less invasive options are not the answer, we have connections to get you in the right place for those more invasive options.
Amy, you wanted to talk about stem cell therapy. What's going on, Amy?
Yes, hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Amy, are you the one that emailed me?
Yeah, I had gone to Elevate Medical for a free evaluation for some pain that I was having in my feet.
Okay.
And they wanted to do stem cell therapy. They said it was going to cost around $3,200, and I needed, I think, 4 injections.
Now, Amy, where did you go for this?
Elevate Medical.
For your stem cells?
This was just to see, they were doing a free evaluation to see if you had, what's going on with your feet, why you have pain. So it was a free evaluation.
But how did they, I need to know, did they recommend stem cell therapy at Elevate?
Yes, they did.
Okay, did they do MRI?
No, they did. They did a X-ray.
Okay.
And it turns out I just have a heel spur.
Who told you had a heel spur?
The one doctor there at Elevate, I can't remember his name.
So did they recommend for the heel spur? Did Elevate recommend stem cell therapy for a heel spur?
Yes.
Okay, and you're asking, is that appropriate?
Correct.
I actually don't know. I mean, Eli, we might want to call over at the pain clinic. I mean, Doc, heel spurs don't seem. I mean, I don't know what they plan on doing with stem cells for that. It's not on a joint, right? That's
No,
what
it's
it
on the
sounds like
heel.
to me.
There's other treatments that they're recommending as well, but it seemed like they're throwing in a lot of stuff to raise the price.
Well, then that's what we call, you need a second opinion, and there's a reason for that. But don't get a second opinion from another clinic like them.
Go see a podiatrist.
Yeah, you go see it. Well, go see a podiatrist who does surgery.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, there are some podiatrists, and I'm going to just be straight with you, they're nothing more than they sell insoles and stuff, and they really have gotten away from the medicine part of it. Doc, do podiatrists have an MD? Are they MDs?
No, they're not, but they do surgery.
Okay, they're not MDs. They go just for feet.
Correct.
But they're for a doctor.
Yes, but they have surgical privilege.
Is there a special medical school for that?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. It's because I often wondered, are podiatrists just people who specialized in feet? Because I know that, for example, hand and wrist and arm doctors, they're full-scale surgeons.
Right. They're orthopedic doctors who specialize in, like, hand surgery.
Right. But you would trust this diagnosis to a podiatrist?
Yes, something simple as a heel spur, yes.
Why don't you try that, Amy, first? I mean,
okay.
I don't know if you need to go right into stem cell. Stem cell therapy is usually for joints, right? Ayla, you want to talk about that? Because you guys at Colorado Pain Care have some stem cell therapy recommended, but what is it used for mainly?
Yeah, so and again, I'm just, as a full disclosure, I don't practice stem cell therapy myself.
Of course you don't. Of course.
But within the practice, we do some stem cell injection. The big thing with stem cells is it's trying to get into the realm of regenerative medicine, and so one of the tough issues with joint treatment over time has been, how do you regenerate tissues, especially cartilage and tissues that have historically been very difficult to treat or regenerate.
And you have to have some there to start with. Yeah. I mean, obviously, bone on bone, it doesn't work.
Again, I don't want to speak too much to this without it being within my scope of practice per se. Okay. But the goal of it is to spare and regenerate cartilage where we can. And that would really be the goal.
But with a heel spur, I don't understand. Just knowing what stem cell therapy is, how does it? I mean, a spur is something that needs to be removed or smoothed.
Hey, correct. Amy, look up Dr. Jay Dworkin. He's a well-respected podiatrist I've worked with, has surgical privileges, and a very good track record.
Dr.
Dworkin, D-W-O-R-K-I-N.
Dworkin. Dr. Dworkin, Amy. 303-713-8255.
KHOW Denver, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Canacon, September 24th and 25th.
Mostly easy driving throughout the Denver metro as we crawl closer to the noon hour. Maybe a couple hiccups out there. I-25 north and south.
It's free enough option for your treatment. It's like it's not even targeting the right tissue. Yeah.
Reports of an object on the roadway with minimal delays for drivers heading all the way down.
Okay, thanks. Found at Chambers Road, a disabled vehicle with minimal delays for drivers as well. Heading to the
airport.
You know, in a pinch.
Fox 31, pinpoint weather, chance of showers today with an overall high of 65 degrees this afternoon, overnight low of 52, and the showers return tomorrow. The current temperature in Denver is 60 with your impact.
With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Don't miss Canacon Denver, the nation's
Have you ever heard of Elevate? Honestly, no.
Brothers at Law. From T's to C money.
Sounds like one of
these shop, work, and network at Canacon Denver. Sponsored by Ethos Genetics. Check us at Canacon.org.
If you're in an auto accident, you're going to have questions.
Especially if they think it's someone else's fault. You know, our accident lawyer, John Fuller, our expert, says if you can, take pictures with your phone, your cell phone, of everything you can, including the other car, your car, the license plate. And if there are people around, you can get a name and cell number from witnesses saying, you know, do you mind if I call you to figure out what went on, or stuff like that. But here's the real deal. If you call attorneys, John Fuller especially, you will notice the difference. John Fuller is a full-service law firm, but smaller by design, where he wants to take and handle each and every case. And he means it. And he says the cell phone he gives you is his personal cell phone, and he will keep you apprised of your case each step of the way. He doesn't take just a bunch of cases he thinks are big and neglects the small. He takes them all and works them all. 303-597-4500. Notice the difference where you're not just a number. myaccidentlawyer.co.com. Garage Kings, the king of garage floor coating. What I love about Garage Kings, let me just tell you straight up. First and foremost, no money down ever, guaranteed for life, and they work up and down the entire front range. Garage Kings does what's called polyaspartic coatings on your floors, which are impervious to weather, oil, gas, hot tire pickup. It's a wonderful coating for your floor. It gives you that finishing touch. Or you can do it on your garage aprons, sidewalks, pool decks, and more. GarageKings.com, 720-252-0370.
Is your concrete sinking? Interior floor, basement, or garage? Brian here with Advanced Mudjacking. I've been lifting concrete in Colorado for over 30 years. We use cement, nothing toxic. Advanced Mudjacking, 303-424-9441. AdvancedMudjacking@yahoo.com.
Attention homeowners age 62 or older. Our rising costs and the uncertainty of inflation.
Troubleshooter Show, what is your first name? This is Suzanne.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. It's got to
Also,
be
to Elevate. Yeah, Elevate may just have DCs and not,
What is
MDs.
the problem?
It's like, have you ever heard the commercials? You must have heard it for Blue Sky CBDs, Tom. That guy Dorninger, he's not a doctor. He's a naturopath.
Oh, that
He's not an
that
MD.
is a question for the show if you've got a minute. So
he's a
you have a
naturopath.
credit card debt. You're thinking of
Well, I mean,
consolidating. You're
they're just
wondering
guys
if
that have this-
consolidating
they
is
go into
going to
this,
affect your credit.
This kind of weird medicine of just, botanicals and stuff. And
But say that, I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit hard time understanding that last thing you said. Did you say settling it? Did you say if you settle it?
No, I know.
what?
This is a medical doctor overseeing it,
But
it's a chiropractor running.
right.
In fact, all chiropractors. See, what they do, and a naturopath, so what they're doing is they're hiring a doctor.
Yeah. Yes.
Me neither.
I am not sure if it does or not. Would you like to ask Tom? Okay, and what is your first name, sir?
Okay.
Sean. Okay, hang on.
Services. Peripheral neuropathy.
Again, the chiropractors love that.
Bioelectrical therapy. All of this bullshit. Metawave ultrasound. Okay. Platelet rich. Okay, PRP. But you see, they don't stay stem cell. They have trigger point injections, chiropractic care, rehab.
It also just goes to show, I mean, one of the things that we try to, whether or not it's anything that we even provide, I mean, it just goes to show the value of, patient education, right? Because there's clearly the extent to which this patient just wasn't explained her case well so that she could make an informed decision, whether or not they're the right people to be treating it or stem cells is the right thing. The patient leaving your door, you should do a good job of educating them as to what their issue is and what their options are.
Of course.
It sounds like she's just totally misguided.
They have a family, a semi-retired doctor. Right here it says she's semi-retired.
That's how they start off. Our doctor is semi-retired. That's the start of
She works for 2 chiropractic offices doing PRP and HCTP. What's HCTP?
Troubleshooter Show, please hold.
Some sort of trigger point, potentially. I've never heard of HCTP as an injection.
I don't even know what it stands for.
Yeah. I'll look it up.
She's semi-retired.
Hydrocortisone, something topical.
It says through the years.
So it's a stem cell, human cellular tissue products.
How.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So I looked up Elevate Medical, They're all chiropractors except for one medical doctor that works there part-time. She works for other chiropractic offices as well, doing PRP, which is a legit regenerative therapy. PRP is where they take your platelets, your plasma, and spin it down to make it platelet-rich. They re-inject it. Then she does HCTP injections. Now, that's human cells. That's not stem cell from you. The only real way to do stem cell therapy, I'm told from all the experts, is to harvest the stem cells from you and not to have them flown into a clinic. If you have amniotic fluid and other fluids shipped to a clinic, you're not going to get living stem cells. Now, it's not to say they have zero regenerative properties. They do, amniotic fluid and stuff, but no probably better than PRP. In fact, PRP might be better. So a good thing to ask a stem cell clinic, here's what you ask. Are you using my own stem cells? If they say something stupid like, well, you're old and you have old stem cells, by the very nature, your stem cells are new, but let's just say they say something stupid like that, run like hell. If they say we're going to ship in amniotic fluid and other substances, like I said, they don't have zero benefit. They have some benefit, but they're not stem cells. So you shouldn't be charged for stem cells. But actually, then you ask, why not PRP? Because PRP from you is better than regenerative fluids shipped to the clinic. In fact, it's better not to use them at all if that's how they do it when it comes to stem cells. 303-713-TALK. Joseph hired Sam the concrete man to do some stamped concrete. Now, the concrete itself was done well. The stamping doesn't look pretty good. We sent an expert out, Bob, on our referral list from LEM Landscape to look at it. Bob, you went out, you're both on the phone, Bob and Joe. What did you find, Bob?
Well, it's one of the worst jobs I've ever seen.
Now, as far as concrete or stamping?
Well, here's the thing. Everybody keeps saying the concrete looks good. The concrete is concrete. The finish of it is horrible. The pattern's not done right. There's a lot of, I want to call, not scale it, but it's like the concrete, they dropped it. When they tried to pull the pattern up, it left marks all over it. His one step has already dropped a half an inch, and they tried to fill it with caulking. And they said that's how it should be. It's not. They caulked all the way around his front patio, which I have no idea why.
Hey, Bob, I want to mention something. Sam the Concrete Man, first of all, the guy's name isn't Sam. It's a franchise called Sam the Concrete Man. That. They're all over. And the old Sam that we used to have that we loved did a good job, the guy. But this whole thing, this guy's been having nothing but trouble and is schlock. And I need to say this. We do not recommend Sam the Concrete Man at all. He absolutely sucks, as Bob will attest to. But, Bob, my next question, and I can't do it right now. You got to hold on. I need to know what can be done to fix it, if anything.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag.
Mostly easy driving throughout the Denver Metro as we crawl closer to the noon hour. Maybe a couple hiccups out there. I-25 north and southbound showing posted speeds into and out of downtown. West from there, I-70 eastbound at Sheridan Boulevard. We've got reports of an object on the roadway with minimal delays for drivers. Heading all the way down south, E-470 eastbound at Chambers Road, a disabled vehicle with minimal delays for drivers as well. Heading to the airport, I-70 east and westbound flowing free. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, chance of showers today with an overall high of 65 degrees this afternoon, overnight low of 52, and the showers return tomorrow. The current temperature in Denver is 60. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Wendy's Biggie Bag is still just $5. Get a double stack junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken BLT plus 4-piece nugs, small fries, and a small drink. Grab your bag at Wendy's today. Includes choice of double stack JBC or crispy chicken BLT with 4-piece nugs, small drink, and fries. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
It's really a simple concept. TheLiquidLoan.com. Simple because it's a loan. You pay simple interest. So if you owe $300,000, you pay interest only on that if you're only going to be there a few years and your payment's pretty low. But let's say you want to pay a set amount on your principal. your interest goes down every single month. So if you make a level payment and it's simple interest, you're going to pay that off more faster than any normal loan with the same payment. So it's always beneficial to you, whether you want to pay it like a regular loan or just use it like a line of credit. And if you need extra money, it will be there based on your equity. So you borrow it up, you pay it down at will, and all of your savings with the same bank earns the same interest, which offsets your interest. TheLiquidLoan.com from Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. Genesis Total Exteriors.com. What do? Well, exactly what they say. Genesis, that's from the beginning, total, everything, exteriors, on the outside of your house. From roofing, gutters, painting, decks, siding, windows, doors, they do it for you, and you can trust them. I have known him for more than 30 years. That's Mark Szymanski, the owner. Genesis Total Exteriors.com. That's Genesis Total Exteriors.com. 303-679-8509.
For a limited time, Belco is offering 2.75% APY on a 17-month CD with balances of $500 or more. You heard right, 2.75% APY.
I don't know if you recall this, but remember come January, and iHeart sent a payment, and I was like, wow, one was skipped. So you reach out, and the guy says, we sent that out, and I'm like, we didn't get that, and he said they would reissue it. I don't know if you remember all that. So I got this today. It was postmarked December, and so this is, I'm pretty sure they canceled this, but I don't know who to ask.
I would just deposit it and see if they did, because she said she was sending out a new one.
And they did. They sent out a replacement. And
Good, because I didn't get mine.
So do you want me to
try
try?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you know why? Because of 2020.
Oh, and then also, it's unusual for you to pay future plan invoices. And there were 2 dings on the checking account, which I found unusual too, just because I usually pay that by credit card for you.
Yeah, I have it on.
You did.
I set up something on autopay.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure.
But I thought it was.
legit.
I thought I set it up on autopay on a credit card. Did I send it up with the bank account?
It definitely came out of your checking.
Okay, how much?
$275 times 2
yeah.
of them.
Yeah, it's
But
fine.
I just wanted to be sure that was
by the
legit.
way, guess what? Good news and bad news. That gets closed out this year because I'm too old. I mean, in other words, it was supposed to go till 70.
Is that the defined benefit or something?
And so I can let it fester for a while, but then I have to start taking it in 2 years. But this is the last year I can contribute, so I'm going to make a humongous payment this year.
Alrighty.
And be done with
We need
it.
to start wrapping our heads around that for end of year.
Oh, I know. Migrants flown to Martha's Vineyard sued DeSantis. See, someone got a hold of them and said, hey, Doc, why would they sue DeSantis? They said they didn't know what they
Suing him for sending the planes?
For sending them to Martha's Vineyard. How dare you give us a free vacation? They're alleging fraud. God almighty, this is such bullshit we're going through in this country.
Well, who do they defraud?
Our
the
government,
migrants?
do you realize the world looks at us? We are divided. We are a divided nation.
Yeah.
We are truly.
We've always been divided, but
Not like
not
this.
to such an extent. I mean, there's always been Republicans, Democrats, liberals.
But not like this.
Oh, I agree. It's ever since Obama, I think it's become more and more divisive.
I think Trump did it.
Well, I think Trump exacerbated it. You know, it was geometric with Obama. It's exponential with Trump. He was such a hateful person.
Oh, God almighty. So the migrants file suit against Florida governor alleging fraud. Now, who do you think put that bug in their ear?
The migrants have no standing because they can't. They're not. How can they bring a suit if they're not even citizens?
Well, they all signed.
I thought
Steel, Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So remember our warning, Sam the Concrete Man, which, by the way, I wish Mark was still on. Of course, he's on vacation. I can't ask him to stay the whole show. But I'd like to know what we should this guy go on the Sleaze Brigade? You know, Suze, the original Sam was on a referral list. Then this guy that took it over came on the referral list. How long were they on before we started having trouble with the new one? Do you remember? Mark knows that because he was handling it.
Years, but Tom,
years was the old guy. This new guy, I don't know how long he owned it.
I think it's been the same guy, Tom. Todd Stewart.
For all our years, I thought it was taken over by someone else in the middle. Maybe not.
I might not have been here then. I don't know.
If Mark is around to talk, I would love to ask him. And because Mark got frustrated with him, we kicked him off the referral list when he stopped taking our calls. And then we tried to get the word out as much as possible. And I think it's going to be one of these rare circumstances where we go from the referral list to the Sleaze Brigade. My God. So Joseph has this job done, and Bob says the finish sucks. Bob is with LEM Landscape and Concrete. We sent him out to look at it. Does it all have to be torn out, Bob? Is there any way to salvage this?
No, because once you stamp a patio and the condition that it's in, there's no way to fix it. And that's what's the thing with stamp. So what I told him to do, here's what he did. He told me he paid both ways with a credit card. The first thing I did was ask him, why did you pay? And at the final, if you weren't happy, he said, well, we thought it looked good until, I think a few days later. And then when he started looking at it, he realized. So what I told him was, I said, Tom could probably better pay you whenever you pay with the credit card, because I've helped homeowners with this before. It's really tough. We did succeed a couple times getting a credit card company to refund the money. The only way to fix it would be to tear it out. And then he told me this project only took 2 days. There's no way you could have done this project correctly in 2 days. It's just impossible. I don't care how many guys you have, and the more guys you have, that's why the pattern and the finish of it looks so bad, because we only have one guy that does each phase of it for a reason, so that it always looks consistent and looks nice. So I told him maybe talk to you, see what you would recommend. That
here, I do recommend, hold on, Joseph, I do recommend what Bob is saying. I would contest it on the credit card for fraud. It was breach of contract and fraud, and we can use Bob as the expert. This is a good set of circumstances here. I would stop payment for sure.
Well, the other thing, Thomas...
Thanks, Bob.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Joseph.
Yes, Bob came out on his own dime, and we're going to do more work together. But yes, we can contest a credit card, and I really appreciate you guys' advice.
Now, here's
where to go.
Well, we're going to help you all the way through it. What you need to do is take pictures of this job all the way through from replacement, and let's get this thing on the road. Let's get it contested. It sucks. Now, Bennett has been plagued with neuropathy. Colorado Pain Care, I know, does some with neuropathy, but usually neuropathy is a result of something else going on, not just the neuropathy itself. Bennett, how is your neuropathy doing?
Tom, from a pain level of 10, it's probably a 5, and I did go to Colorado Pain Care.
Yes.
And they put me on a narcotic patch for 30 days.
Did it help?
No, it did not, and I'm wondering what my next step will be.
Well, did you talk to them again?
No, I haven't, Tom, because the reason I haven't gone back into them, it got so bad that I couldn't walk.
Oh, my goodness. Listen, I don't know what it's coming from, but we need to talk about it. Hold on.
Hello, this is Kurt Gambier with Centennial Capital Partners. Concerned about inflation? How will it affect your investments? Find out what we think. Give us a call, 303-584-1161.
Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer, member of FINRA SIPC. Investment advisor representative, Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Centennial Capital Partners are not affiliated.
Hi there, from Barry Miller, host of your greatest wealth-building program, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Learn how to safely make 60 to over 100% on your money every year. 9 a.m. Saturday, 6:30, KHAP.
This is Dan Kaplis. The decision about which firm to hire in a serious injury case is often one of the most important decisions a person will make in their life. We suggest that you choose a firm that shares your values. Those values, including faith, honesty, hard work, love of country, have been the foundation of our firm's long history of outstanding results. We take righteous cases on a percentage fee basis. If you need our help, please give me a call at 303-770-5551 or hit dankapleslaw.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeartRadio station. It's Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter, mornings at 10. Streaming live on our free iHeartRadio app and at khow.com.
ABC News, I'm Alex Perez. New York Attorney General Letitia James today filed the 250...
I practiced a lot. But the cops say I was probably going pretty fast from all the damage.
You can't take yourself anywhere. Troubleshooter Show, what is your first name? Ken, hi, in a sentence or less. What would you like to talk to Tom about on the show today? I would love that. Hang on, Ken. Thank you so much. This gentleman has been calling us. I know him personally, and he's a big fan of the show. He's been calling us for months trying to figure out, every once in a while, just trying to figure out anything to help. It's been so bad. So I appreciate that. Hang on. Yes? Sure. Okay.
I have it really bad, but the reason I have it is mine was caused from having shingles. And for some people, that problem never goes away. It's the nerve endings that put it in.
Oh, yeah. Little in, little out.
Exactly.
Yes.
As long as it's not the same thing, it could be okay.
Yeah.
There's video.
Okay. Do you want to come on and say that on the show? Yeah, let's do. Yeah, that's really interesting. His is from cancer treatments. And I don't know how cancer treatments interact with that kind of medicine. But we have a doctor in studio, so let's just talk about it. Hang on. Okay, Joseph, any other questions? Yeah, for sure. I would dispute it. If that comes back against you and they don't honor the dispute, you might have to take him to court. But start there and see what your credit card company says. Let us know. Thanks, Joseph. Take care. Don't like that guy. When I don't, I don't. Just how it is.
Sure. Okay, that'd be good. Yeah. So, whenever you're ready. Okay.
We have cold brewed if you want cold.
Oh, you had that Kirkland cold brew last night. It was good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I just
okay,
straight out.
pension,
Yeah. Thank you.
future plan, admin fees. What you need, Tom? What can I help you with?
This report is sponsored by the Mark Moss Show podcast.
Yeah, this room is live.
Oh!
We want you sniggly gigglers.
Oh.
Love you.
See you, buddy.
The Ethereum merge just happened, and I'm going to break it all down for you. What does it mean? What are the trade-offs? What's the misinformation and more? I'm Mark Moss, helping you navigate the decentralized revolution. So listen to the Mark Moss Show on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Orchard customers sell on market for more than their cash offer. Getting started is easy. You go online and enter your address at orchard.com. It's just a couple of weeks to get home listing. If you're thinking about selling or just curious what Orchard will pay for your home, it is no cost, no obligation offer at orchard.com. That's orchard.com. Stay connected with your favorite shows on Denver's Talk Station. Sign up for our newsletter email now at khl.com/newsletter.
Breaking news, weather, sports, and more from our community. That's khl.com/newsletter.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help a common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. We are here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and make your life a little easier. This hour brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. For a market analysis of your home. Sure, you'd love to list it, but what if you're just wondering, what will it sell for? What will I clear? What are the charges? What can I buy? He'll do a full analysis free of charge with no obligation. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. We have Colorado Pain Care with us, Eli Park, physical therapist there at a doctorate level. They know what they're doing. We were talking about neuropathy pain. Neuropathy is something that usually results from something else. I know that's overly simplistic, meaning sugar diabetes can cause neuropathy, nerve damage can cause neuropathy, injuries can cause neuropathy, certain drugs can cause neuropathy, and the treatment for neuropathy, there are many. They try to increase circulation. They try to fix the underlying cause. For example, if it's sugar, you get your blood sugar under control. Or if it's a nerve impingement, you free the nerve. Or whatever. I mean, that's what you do. To subside some of these symptoms, usually you use a prescription like a gabapentin or something. The things that, and I recommended that Bennett see Colorado Pain Care just to see what's going on. Bennett, it's very unusual, and again, I don't like talking about a doctor's treatment when we don't know the whole story. So the doctor, did they x-ray you or did you have any MRIs? No? Yes?
No.
Okay. So how did they determine to give you a pain patch?
Tom, I went in and I want to say they evaluated my pain in my feet, and then they decided to give me the pain patch to see if that would work.
Okay, and where did they apply the patch?
On my shoulders.
On your shoulders for the feet pain?
It was a narcotic patch.
Oh, they just wanted to give you a systemic relief.
Correct.
Okay, but they certainly didn't say this is what you need. I mean, that was just a temporary move, right?
That is correct.
Okay, I get it now. What they usually try to do in 1 or 2 visits is to get you under control so you're not writhing with pain. They want you to at least get some relief. Then what they do is look for the underlying cause, and then they do treatment or referral to someone if you need it. And I think you need to go back and you need to tell them that absolutely did nothing for you, right?
Correct.
And did they give you any idea as to what they think is causing the neuropathy?
No, they didn't, Tom. And I think I did tell them I was told my chemo treatment was what caused it.
And it very well could. But I'm wondering if chemotherapy caused it, is there any relief to that? But what doesn't make sense, did you stop chemotherapy?
Yes, they did stop it.
Okay, then if you stop chemotherapy, it shouldn't be getting worse. Is it getting worse?
No, Tom, it's getting better in the last month.
Good. Okay. I think you're on the right track, but you need to tell them exactly what you're saying. It doesn't work, or the pain patch, gave no relief, and see what they recommend. You may have. We're thinking it might be the chemo, but it could be something else. You could have some kind of nerve impingement. I'm not sure if you do. Are both of your legs affected?
Yes, both feet.
Both feet, but how about ankles and legs?
No, just also my hands had a little bit of it too.
Okay. So, Eli with Colorado Pain Care says it's a process. And they don't necessarily say, okay, we got it, now you're go off and live well. That's the whole purpose. You go back now and be evaluated based on what you're telling us. And then they'll take the next steps. That's really, Eli, can you add anything to that?
Yeah, and again, just kind of the disclaimer to not speak out of practice here, but the one thing I would also add to that is if you're actively receiving chemotherapy the last time that you were seen by Colorado Pain Care, the decision of what the interventions were may be different based upon that. So not just as your response to interventions changes, but as your whole health presentation changes on chemo, off chemo, on certain medications, off certain medications, the recommendations for treatment will change as well. So it may be a whole new evaluation based on the fact that so much of your general health picture has changed.
Have you ever done any kind of physical therapy for neuropathy ever? Have you?
Yeah. So, again, it goes back to, being a part of a comprehensive treatment plan. Yeah. But primarily to your point of the different interventions that we try to reduce neuropathy, and one of those is reducing impingement on nerves. So really when it comes back to physical therapy for neuropathy, that's what we're first and foremost targeting, is looking at soft tissue structures or movement mechanics or joint mobility issues that may be contributing to nerve impingement and trying to reduce the impingement on the nerve and subsequently the neuropathy if that is a contributing factor.
Have you ever heard of nerves skipping the legs and ankles and going straight to the feet?
Well, you can get foot pain that comes from nerves without it necessarily affecting the whole legs to that point, yes.
Ken has a comment on neuropathy pain. Go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, the patches won't do him any good. It's a totally different type of pain. The neuropathy is different than and I've had the patches, so believe me, I know. What I take is 600 milligrams of gabapentin 4 times a day.
Yeah.
I'm on a high dose, but it does solve the problem.
Prior to my surgery, gabapentin was the only thing that calmed down my nerve pain, the only thing. Right. And I took exactly how much you are. That's how much I was on, and then I went to nothing with 0 pain after the surgery. But did gabapentin, did you eventually get off it, or are you still on it?
No, I'll be on it the rest of my life. With shingles, in some people, the nerve problem never goes away, and I happen to be one of them. So I'll be on it the rest of my life.
Well, at least you're getting relief, though. Bennett, did you try? You said how much gabapentin were you on?
I am taking, according to the doctor, 1 pill a day, and it's 600.
That's okay. I'm not going to say anything. Okay, that's a very small dose once a day, but again, I'm not a doctor. So go back, though. Don't. It's a process, Bennett. Go back and let them troubleshoot it. You know, I thought I was going to be in pain for life until I kept going, and I'm serious. Okay, I was going, and I said. He says, Tom, we have to do these nerve blocks to see where it's coming from. Is it nerve? Is it joint? Is it muscle? Is it this? Is it that? And okay, but each time I got some relief, but it wasn't what he wanted to see. I got an MRI, and that's when I went to see another doctor outside of Colorado Pain Care. I didn't tell them. I just went to see another doctor, and that doctor said, oh, you need a fusion. And then that's when Colorado Pain Care says, look, we were going to recommend that your nerves are pinched based on your MRI, and you need more of a decompression. Your bones look fine. You don't look unstable, and we want you to at least talk to a neurosurgeon, too. And if it wasn't for that, I swear to you, I've talked to at least 18 people who have had fusions and are back in pain again. And thank God, because it wasn't the bone structure causing the pain. It was nerves, and they never addressed the nerves. They addressed the bones. And again, if you go to a carpenter, they're going to recommend a bookshelf. If you go to a neurosurgeon, they're going to recommend books on tape or something, or audiobooks. I mean, it's like a whole different modality. And I'm not telling you that fusions aren't for people. I mean, they might be for some people. So I'm not a doctor. I mean, you might need a fusion. And God knows if a doctor recommends one, don't say no because of me. Get second opinions. That's what I'm asking. I think everyone agrees on second opinions, right? Eli? I mean, who wouldn't? Even with physical therapy, you get second opinions if you think so.
Yeah, I told all my surgical patients to get a second opinion if they were unsure about what we're going to do.
Eric has a question for Colorado Pain Care. What is it?
Hey, you guys. How's it going?
Good.
I kind of got a crazy problem. I did some research on this, and a very small percentage of people are resistant to Novocaine, and they can't get numb at the dentist. I was wondering if your experts could recommend an oral surgeon or a dentist that would, have know how to deal with this type of problem.
Are you resistant to Novocaine?
Yeah, it's almost impossible for me to get numb.
And they don't want to give you too much because of the stimulant, right?
Yeah, the last one dentist I had, he injected me 5 times. He went from the regular to the lidocaine to the hard stuff, and he injected me 5 times, and he wouldn't give me any more.
Have you ever tried? There are dentists now that do dentistry.
Well, I'm thinking about trying that. I want to have them completely knock me out, like with the gas.
Okay, conscious sedation for all practical purposes, you're not going to remember anything.
No, you're out.
They call it conscious sedation because you don't have to be intubated.
Exactly.
And you're breathing on your own. But for all practical purposes, you're out.
What part of town are you in?
Southeast.
Okay, there's a great MD DDS. His name is Dr. Thomas Stone. He's on Hamden and Clarkson. He is unbelievable.
He's an MD DDS.
Well qualified. I've had some stuff done with him, and he's the best oral surgeon around.
Now, can he completely knock me out?
Absolutely.
Well, don't say completely knock. He can sedate you.
They can do conscious sedation.
Yes.
Well, see, because my personal belief is if they do that, I'm going to wake up.
No, okay.
No,
man.
not
Listen,
if they do conscious sedation.
Forget the conscious sedation part of it. What I'm saying is, yes, you will be knocked out. You're going to be out, sir. There's just 2 different kinds. One brings you to the brink of death, and they breathe for you, okay? And the other one does almost everything that does without bringing you that deep, okay? Without, I mean, it's called, I had a complete rhinoplasty done with conscious sedation, for God's sakes. I mean, You don't need general anesthesia all the time. How old are you, Eric?
I'm 65. 65.
Have you ever had a colonoscopy?
Yes.
Okay, did they give you, were you out for that?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
that was conscious
that
sedation.
was conscious sedation, and that's what Dr. Stone
That
will
was
do.
not general anesthesia.
Well, see, the reason why I think that I'm going to wake up is when they start drilling, the pain is going to be so intense, I'll wake up.
Did you ever see that cable they put up your ass? Don't tell me you're going to wake up.
You're not
You didn't
listening.
You didn't wake up for your colonoscopy, did you? They had a news crew up there. I mean, come on, man. They had a camera, lights, and everything. You're not going to wake up. Eric, look I'm not going to tell you what to do. Talk to the doctor. He's an MD DDS. Okay, I don't know why you're so afraid of waking up. You didn't wake up during your colonoscopy, and you tell a dentist that. He'll figure it out.
People don't wake up during conscious sedation.
303-713-TALK, 713-82.
One of the biggest advancements in the history of teeth since, well, teeth. Renew is a revolutionary whole mouth teeth replacement process that only takes 1 day. Just call 1-833-DO-RENEW. If you have loose or missing teeth or dentures that just don't work for you, call 1-833-DO-RENEW. In 1 day, you can walk out with a healthier mouth and a beautiful new smile, guaranteed. Call 1-833-DO-RENEW to talk with a consultant and see if Renew is right for you. Renew. Science with a smile.
Okay, we're talking pain today, so I love talking about real stem cell therapy. We touched upon it. Real stem cell therapy, I'm so happy to have clinics that do it on my referral list and in my show. One of them, Denver Regenerative Medicine, they really do stem cell therapy. First, you get a free phone evaluation, then they'll see you. And here's the whole point. Real stem cell therapy, if you're a candidate for an alternate to joint replacement and other minor surgeries, they will, first of all, take the stem cells from you and re-inject them where needed. And it's all done in a one-time 3-hour procedure. No repeat visits or repeat injections needed. Of course, follow-up care, yes. And you can get your free phone consultation with a real stem cell physician. They also have PRP. Call them 833-STEM Gen. Don't accept any substitutions, please. Get the real deal. 833-STEM Gen. DenverRegen.com. And while we're talking about things that make life easier, let's talk about financing. A simple line of credit. Do you know what that is? That's where you borrow money and you pay on it and borrow it back and pay on it and borrow it back. That's what Affordable Interest Mortgage has done with the liquid loan. They have turned your loan into a simple 30-year line of credit with simple interest. You get to choose how to pay it. You can pay more or less. You can just pay a regular payment, and it'll be paid off way faster than other loans because it's simple interest, which means when you pay $1 of principal, you pay that much less on interest. It's not the same every month. So you can pay only interest if you want to keep payments low and you're not going to stay there a long time. Or if you're going to stay there, you can pay principal anytime you want. And then if you need the money back, you can borrow it back temporarily or borrow it back for years and then pay it back down. It's liquid, theliquidloan.com. Find out more, where your savings even earns the same amount as your mortgage, so it's offsetting it. Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500, theliquidloan.com. If you're accused of a DUI, first of all, you could have avoided it. And I hate to say I told you so, but, I mean, why wouldn't anyone use rideshare or a designated driver or whatever? But here's the deal. If you are accused, even if you have a story, you were falsely accused, or you think it was your first time, you're just going to plead guilty, you can't do it without an attorney. You need an attorney to get you through the system, seriously, for minimum damage and to get it done right. Joe Lazzara is a criminal defense attorney. I hope you never need him, but you may need him, or you may have to recommend him to someone. 303-429-6200. Don't ever shop under pressure. I've done the shopping for you. 303-429-6200. Free consultations and then flat rate pricing. Joe Lazzara.
At GiveMeTheVin.com, it's all digital. We have a 45-second offer.
By the way, I'm watching Brotherhood.
Oh, isn't it great?
God, it's good, but man, it's violent in some areas.
Yeah, but the story is really good.
What a wonderful story, and what a cool setting.
Yeah.
Rhode Island, you know?
In Providence.
Like, whoever thought, I wonder if there really was corruption there. Like,
Oh, are you kidding? You know, what about, you don't think there was...
I just started the second season. Here's what I want to know. Because it's only 3 seasons and it ended in 2008 or 9, do they complete the story?
I don't know.
Oh, shit.
I'm in the middle of the 3rd season.
God damn it, because I hate shows
right,
that don't
well, they
end.
don't, right. I'll let you know.
Yeah, well, shit. You know what? When shows don't end, I get so pissed. I watched a 1-season show that never came back. And
Which was?
Oh, I don't know, one of these crazy science fiction shows. I just don't like when they don't conclude a story.
Right. Well, a lot of times, it's the network's fault because they don't renew it.
But I wish there was a directory of shows that have completed or have endings or leave you on a cliffhanger. I wish I could know in advance.
Or you could Google it. I'm going to do it right now.
What service is the Brotherhood on?
Amazon. I bought the season on Amazon rather than subscribe to Showtime.
Yeah.
They're on Showtime. But
okay.
I have found it cheaper to buy the seasons on these older shows than subscribe for a month or 2 months.
Yeah.
I don't like having so many subscriptions.
For sure.
I have some, like Netflix I have a Hulu, and I have an Amazon. But other than that, I just buy the shows or the seasons. Now, HBO Max I might consider because they do have a lot of shows on there and a lot of first-run movies.
According to this, it doesn't have an ending. They didn't have a season 4.
What do you think the effect on the city and the state is going to be, and the effect on the homeless as well? And why is the marijuana delivery business in Colorado tanking? Join me at 4.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-8255. Genesis Total Exteriors also does solar. GenesisSolarCO.com, a company I know and trust, and you can too. They have a solar company that promises a 25-year guarantee on components from the manufacturers, that is, and then a 25-year performance guarantee from the company. GenesisSolarCO.com. Sean's got a question on credit card debt. Sean, what's going on?
Good afternoon, Tom. Thank you for a great show. I owe about $44,000, and the companies keep calling me for consolidate.
Now, wait a minute. You owe $44,000 overall in credit card debt?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's a lot of money. How did you get all that?
Well, over COVID for the past 2-3 years, I needed to borrow some money from credit card companies.
Yeah, I see. I got it. So, how much do you make a year?
About 75.
And do you have a plan for paying it off?
Well, I like to, but the credit card companies, like they consolidate. They keep calling me and say, if you pay this much, your credit score, is going to remain the same, which is not true.
Well, consolidate. How many credit cards on this on this? How many credit cards do you have?
6 or 7.
Okay, on 6 or 7 credit cards. Okay, so consolidation really is only beneficial if you can take your blended interest rate you're paying now and get something cheaper. If you can't, you may as well just keep paying these. And the way you do it is you make minimum payments on all of them except one, and on that one, you try to pay off quickly with as much extra money as you can. Then when that's paid off, you go to the next one. You go by balance. The highest balance you pay off first with minimum payments on the other, then go back to the other one and do the same thing until they're paid off. Or you take out a home equity loan where even if it's 6% right now, it's still cheaper than credit cards. Or but regular consolidated loans, I don't know who's calling you about what, but I don't know what you do.
They're basically scams, Tom. There's no way to There's no way they can reduce the credit cards any more than he could if he called up the credit card company himself.
Well, there are some settlements. Here's something that some companies do. There used to be a place that advertised on my show called Debt Relief Clearinghouse. It was a national client, and I asked them, how do you make your money? Because free of charge, they would take people who had credit card debt and they would consolidate it and get it paid off quicker. They're no longer around, I don't believe. Debt Relief Clearinghouse. See if they're there, Doc. But anyway, here's what they told me. A little known secret in the financial industry is that credit cards do not want you to go bankrupt. So they incentivize collectors or financial consolidation companies to get you to pay. And to do that, they will reduce your balance and penalties and interest to something palatable. And if you pay that off, the company that talked you into it gets a commission. That's how these consolidators make money, legit ones. Now, I'm not saying they're all legit. Some of the ones that take advantage of people, they collect money from you and never pay the credit cards, and then they disappear. Those you do not want.
Tom, but he can do what the consolidated company did just by calling up his credit card company and setting up a payment plan. That's all they do.
However, not all credit card companies will settle with consumers. If he calls and says, I would like to erase the penalties, get a lower rate, and reduce my balance, they'll say, no. They don't all do that, Doc. They don't. The only time they would do that is under the threat of bankruptcy or something like that, if they really think it's dire. So, listen, give me an example of a consolidating company. Give me an example of one of them. What are they offering?
Well, they tell me I send you a check for $50,000 and then you pay off your credit card and then you pay us.
No, don't do it. Nope, they're going to they take giant fees and they disappear with your money. Don't ever do that ever. Never pay a lump sum to a company ever. That's not the way to do it. Okay? So if you ask me, that's not the way to do it. Do you own a home?
Yes, sir.
Do you have equity?
We got some equity, yeah. I've got some equity there.
Do you have enough to pay off your credit card debt?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, you call the credit card companies and say, look, I want to take out a loan to pay you off, but I'm not going to pay the full amount. I can't. I don't have enough equity. How much can you? And see if you can negotiate a full lump sum settlement upon closing on your second or first. What's your rate at right now on your first?
I don't remember, Tom. I don't remember.
You don't know what you owe on your house?
Oh, you're talking about the...
as far as your rate. You don't know if it's 5%, 2%, 3%, 8%?
Oh, it's 4%.
Okay.
4% right now.
Then even going to 6% will pay you if you can pay off other high interest debt. Even doing a new first would help you in most cases. However, you could probably get a second. Or, what you need to do I would, or the liquid loan. I don't know how much is your house worth versus what you owe?
I believe it's about 700,000 right now.
It's worth 700.
Yeah.
What do you owe?
About 400.
You should do the liquid loan, in my opinion. I'm telling you, you should look into it on paying off these credit card bills. If you have good credit, you should use equity to pay off those high interest bills because you're not a candidate for bankruptcy at this point. Not at all. Do not fall for those companies that want a lump sum from you. Do not fall for it. So you might want to call the Liquid Loan, okay? TheLiquidLoan.com. Just find out. Listen, Kurt will tell you if it's a good deal or not. 720-895-0500. 720-895-0500. Then compare that with Ideal Home Loans. Call them and ask them what they think about a consolidation loan. These are two legit lenders that won't steer you wrong. And Ideal is 303-867-7000.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories podcast.
Green and clean driving throughout the Denver metro as we reach those early afternoon hours. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds from one end of town to the other. Heading east-west, I-70 east and westbound flowing free from the foothills to DIA and back again. Speaking of DIA, Pena Boulevard southbound, we are seeing some slowdowns around 56th Avenue. No word of an accident, but of course we'll keep you updated. On the south end of town, I-225 north and southbound free and clear for our friends in Aurora and DTC. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, gusty throughout the foothills in Denver metro today. Chance of showers this afternoon with a high of 65 degrees. The current temperature in Denver is 59. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Batman is one of the most recognizable superheroes in the world, with media spanning comic books, television shows, movies, and beyond. But a half a century ago, he almost became a thing of the past. Be sure to catch this week's edition of Our American Stories on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Empower Reverse Mortgage is a reverse loan company that we highly endorse because Mark Massey and his team are dedicated to taking seniors 55 or older and answering all of their questions about reverse loans. If you have a reverse loan, if you're thinking about refinancing it or you want to look into getting a reverse loan, ask all of your questions at empowerreverse.com, 720-500-7719, 720-500-7719. Now, I've told you this before, and I'm going to repeat it. I am personally using Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies with all of my stuff. Now, sure, I have individual investments. Sure, I have an IRA and some other stuff, a pension I started years ago in my company. But those are elements. They're not a plan. I suddenly realized I need a plan. When to turn this into income, how to maximize the income, how to cover myself with insurance as I retire, how to help me get through these years. And the earlier you start, the better. But you should have someone quarterbacking the whole thing. And by the way, the small fees they charge, I think they're like 1% when they invest your money, which is pennies compared to what others charge. And they'll show you up front what they're doing. And you can yay or nay each one. Meet with them as many times as it takes to feel comfortable. rpcenter.com. rpcenter.com. 970-663-3211. Track.
and time frame, or she will buy it. Guaranteed in writing. Buying your dream home and selling your current home starts by calling Gay Rebel with the Power Home Team. 833-453-SOLD. 833-453-SOLD. And online at GAY.
See, Frank Durant told me something about these guaranteed buy programs.
Yeah.
Here's what he said. First and foremost, they're not going to guarantee the highest price.
No, of course not.
So, one incentive would they have if they have a buyer willing to pay $600 and they guarantee to buy it from you for $500?
Yeah, that's what's.
Because they can buy it for $5 and sell it for $6, and selling it for $5, they still get their commission. So these are such smoke screens when they say the guarantee. What does that mean? Guarantee. They come up with a price that they guarantee you, okay, if they don't sell it. Well, what's the incentive to sell it if they know it's worth more than they just offered you? And if they can't get more, then what good are they?
Right. Well, it's like home investors. You might as well just go to them and
exactly get a quote.
Right.
And this other one says, how about this one? This one that says they guarantee to buy it, and if you agree to it and they sell it for more, you get the difference. What they're not telling you is, when they buy it from you, that's a loan, and you pay interest on that until they sell it. Then they get a commission when they sell it. So you pay interest, then a commission.
You mean
then they give you the overage?
You talking about Orchard?
Yes.
Wait, so when they buy it, they don't give you. It's not. You don't close on it.
They buy it.
Yeah, I'm listening.
They guarantee a price.
Right.
Okay. If you need the cash,
yeah,
you pay on that like a loan.
Really?
Until it sells, you get the extra money, but you pay the commission as well.
So what's their incentive for getting it? If they advertise, they'll give you the difference. What's the incentive for them to get a higher price?
Because you're paying a commission on the sale price.
Okay, so right. Okay.
I don't know if that's like the exact details, but Frank Duran was telling me they make
630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Claims Pro will help you if you have an insurance claim on your home. You know we believe in public adjusters. They are adjusters that work for you. Claims Pro is on a referral list at referrallist.com. And if you have any claim on your home insurance, make sure you're being treated fairly. They'll give you a free valuation of your claim. Publicadjuster.pro. If you've already been offered money, they'll only charge you a small commission on the extra money they get you. Publicadjuster.pro, 833-252-4600, 833-252-4600. All right, so let's go to the phones. And again, we have Colorado Pain Care with us, but I do want to get people that have been waiting. And didn't we already take, now I think we just had Sean on his credit card, right? Yeah, I think we took that,
okay.
Yes. So let's go to Mel. Mel, what's going on with you, Mel?
Hi, I was just calling to answer a quick question. I know, Tom, you're not a friend of maintenance agreements, and I'm wondering how you feel about Excel's maintenance agreement or Sears for home as opposed to just cars.
I'm totally against them.
Why
Do you want to know why?
Yes.
And I even talked to Excel about this, and I recommended how they can improve their program. And they said, they said something like, we'll take it under advisement. What that means is, we think your idea is BS, but we don't want to tell you that. So here's how they all work, okay? I don't care what it is, here's how they all work. They're going to charge you based on how many appliances you have, right?
That's right.
Okay, so now you're going to pay a monthly payment. Let's say you're going to pay